show, Burning Bridges. Today, we have a very special guest with us. TJTRAINWRECK. Spooky bitches himself.
Yeah.
Let's go.
How are you, bud?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great now that we got these, you get to see the real technical difficulties.
Yeah.
All the BTS action, as they call it.
Yeah, but you
What,
got
BTS? Is that like a Pornhub search?
BTS is definitely top 16 or 17 searches on Pornhub.
Oh.
I like the background stories, you know what I mean? Like I like the the preliminaries. I like the preliminaries.
You want to know where they came from.
Yeah, I want to see the fluffer, you know?
Is that even a job anymore? Is it like with the advent of like fucking Cialis and Blue Chews and shit, is a fluffer even a fucking job?
It has to be.
Yeah, right. Like maybe you're the dude that has the pocket full of Blue Chews.
Yeah, like I feel like there's a lot of jobs that have probably been eliminated. Do they have? I don't know.
Jello shots of Blue Chews.
Does anybody know? So like, I heard some weird shit. Like someone in a podcast was talking like injections or something. They were like, if the actor takes an injection, I'm like, what? There's cock injections?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I do know this. I do know for a fact, like in South Florida and like a few other places, there are these like erectile dysfunction facilities where these doctors are literally just making all these fucking concoctions, and they literally tell you if you do not leave like with an erection, they and my old roommate, he almost worked at one of these facilities. He's like, yo, they were like almost hiring anybody that had a medical background. Now he was an EMT, so like he almost got the job, and he's like, yeah, they wanted me to do injections into dudes, and he was like, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. He's like, but they were literally just mixing up a concoction just to give you an erection.
For sure. I'm even terrified of the shit that like the pharmaceutical shit that's been made, like the Blue Chews and this and that. Because here's the thing: when you have that 1 in a million chance, but it happens, they have to fucking slice your wiener like a fucking grilled hot dog. You know what I mean? And that's not, dude.
Yo, time out for 1 second. How is it we got like fucking 15 seconds into this shit and started talking about dicks already? Like it was insane. Wieners.
We weren't gonna point it out, but we were just gonna breeze right through it. I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Like if you start it and just get it over with.
It's like sex. You just want to, like you said, start it.
You know what kind of party this is gonna be?
Yeah, like we said, welcome to the show.
Welcome to Burning Bridges.
And we're back.
I haven't developed out of middle school mentality yet, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And I'm still a child upstairs.
Damn it, just keeps going out.
That's how you know it's good.
That Florida moisture.
Oh, what? Speaking of that, what y'all smoking on?
Over here on my right, I got to join up some Sour Jack. Very good sativa.
Your right or your left?
Yeah, my right.
What is this? I don't remember. South Beach Sunrise.
Yep.
I already told you that like twice. I can't remember anything.
South Beach Sunrise.
Yeah.
There's way too many S's.
Yeah.
Just like the sunset sherbet.
Yeah. Sunset sherbet.
That's like when you get to the gelatos and there's so many different distinctions of them. Yeah. There's like Gelato 41, Gelato 22.
That creepy dude from Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
I got some popsicles down in the cellar. The dude with the dog with the broke legs, the old man with the dog with the broke legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rufus in 12 years.
Yo, it really upsets me, but I see it all the time. These Dosh hounds with these with the carriages.
Oh yeah, inside of them.
They just got these like they're technically a wheelchair for them, so they're just running around on their front legs.
Yeah, it's so cute. It's sad that wiener dogs always get fucking like real jacked.
They put those dogs on Xanax.
I
before
wouldn't
they
doubt
put
it.
him in the thing.
I wouldn't doubt it.
For sure. That's like the dogs that people like where the tongue sticks out. You know what I mean? Where it like hangs out the side, where the dog's got a like a little tism.
Yeah. Autism.
That's fucking.
I know some people like that.
Those-
I spent like what 10 to 15 years like that. Fucking dummy.
And by that, you're not talking about 10 to 15 years as a magician.
No.
That was a different 10 to 15 years.
Speaking of magician,
Lighting bud.
yesterday I was at the gym, and once you see, like, obviously the people that have been going to this gym have been going to this gym, and you can tell when someone new comes, because like if you've been going there for 6 months and some random dude just shows up, you're like, oh, this guy's new. I haven't seen him in 6 months. You know what I mean? The 6 months I've been here. So this guy's seen me a few times. So I'm like standing there washing my hands, and he's like standing like off to the side, like he just got done washing his hands. He's about to walk out. And he was like, hey man, either you're a tattoo artist or you're a magician. And I was like, huh? No, man, I just collect these things. I was like,
Why didn't you say yes to one of them?
I was
The
like,
second one.
well, because here's the thing is, okay, I would have agreed to the being a magician. All right, now mind you, my man is standing here with his Myrtle Beach Confederate flag South Carolina T-shirt on,
I love it.
with no sleeves all the way down to the hem of the bottom. Like the sleeve is, like the armhole is the side of the shirt.
Whole side on, like he's
Yeah.
ready to fuck shit up all the time.
You gotta
Okay.
blow
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So, and I tell you, and I was like, huh. So I was like, nah, man, I just collect them. I was like, I do stuff like on the internet. Like I was like, I'm a clothing designer. I was like, I'm a broker. I teach people how to make a small business. I was like, stuff like that. And he looks at me and he goes, and then he didn't say anything. He just looked at me and goes, oh man, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Like, what kind of internet stuff? And I was just like, yo, you ever see those kids on Instagram? And he's like, yeah. I was like, close to that. Something like that. I wasn't trying to, like, this dude really was not someone you could, like, dude, where I live, there's some fucking good old boys. Like, literally what these dudes are, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
then I go, you gonna tell me what the fuck you do? And he goes, huh? I was like, are you going to tell me what you do? You gonna ask me questions and not tell me what you do? He goes, I fix stuff. I was like, oh, do you? And he goes, and I work with alcohol. And I was like, oh, do
Oh, he does
you?
moonshine.
Yeah,
He's a
he was
moonshine.
yeah. And I was like, oh, like alcohol? He goes, yeah, good
That
stuff.
white
And I
line.
was like, oh, white lightning. He goes, uh-huh. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay. I was like, I quit drinking 5 years ago. That sucks. And he goes, oh man, good for you though, right? And I was like, yeah, but dang, that sucks. The one, like,
Yeah. A plug.
That's like they hit up at my sister's in the mountains. Like just everyone has
yeah,
moonshine.
it is
100%.
a thing out here. Like literally everybody. Shit.
They
All
be
right.
arguing this is the best and this and that. Yo, like one time, this it was my niece's ex-boyfriend. His parents had some like, this is Popcorn Sutton's liquor. That famous dude.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit was so fucking gnarly gross, bro.
Probably because it was really
Like,
old. They probably like,
it was like straight turpentine.
yeah. At that time, like, here's the thing is, but before we move on to this, I still want to know what he thought. Like, I was like, as a magician, like, you think I make things disappear? Like, what do you
Here's the thing.
think that I make disappear? Hmm?
You do know 100%. If you had said, actually, yeah, I am a magician, he would the next thing out of his mouth 100% would have been, show me a trick.
Dude, and I would have had to hit him with the.
Wow, you see that? Exactly.
Do some magic.
Every
What?
time I do it, Damien tells me I do it wrong. He's like, "You got to close your fist." I'm like, "Nah, dude, that's a trick. Look at that. Look at that toe. That's a trick." He's like, "No, you got to
There
close
you
it." No,
go.
dude,
You've
that's
been
a
trying
trick.
to- Yeah, that's funny. I wish somebody would ask me if I was a magician.
Yeah, I've never got asked that one.
Me either. I've been asked to. Yo, one time a guy came up to me. He was like, "Either you're really smart, or you got a lot of money." And I was like, wrong on both of those.
But to be fair, you always pull up
And I
in
was
the
like
Lamborghini.
sitting at a Beef O'Brady's bar, shit faced drunk at work, like, you know? You remember those days,
Yeah, yeah.
Shario. Got nothing
No,
else to do.
I don't. I don't
No,
subscribe to that.
I'm
Actually,
I'm not doing any work today. I got here at 2 and we're drinking for the rest of the day. Look it.
the rest of the day.
Oh, I have a
I
client?
don't miss drinking at
No.
all.
No,
Right.
I do not.
And I think the thing that keeps me the most not wanting to drink is drunk people.
Yeah, that's the
You know,
thing.
like I'll
I
go out
can't
and be
do
like,
it.
oh, these are my friends, I like them. And then after a couple beers, I'm like,
You're like,
man, I'm
man,
going to leave before I don't like you anymore.
somebody needs a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody needs to take a nap.
Like, what?
The reason why like I do not miss drinking is the main reason like I drank a lot because I was sad. And I'm not sad anymore. I fucking love my life. So like I have no reason to drink.
Right. Now, would you say that you miss any type of drink? Not being drunk, but miss any type of specific drink? Like,
I'm
is
I
there a drink?
miss I miss drinking wine because of the experience. Going to wineries were fucking fun. You know, like I went to like a bunch of wineries in California. I got to fly around in a helicopter and drink wine.
Yeah,
That shit was tight.
yeah.
I got to see how they like made wine. Like I got to have this sparkling Merlot that like these two people from Austria figured out, and they like and
Rich, rich.
they brought it and it's you know and they like they made it here and like I got to try it like just cool shit like that. But like
Yeah, that's awesome.
other than that like nah like I kind of miss
No,
like
no, what
some
I'm saying is, like, is
whiskeys.
there like a beer that you miss? Like, I'm talking about just taste
I
wise.
miss Dos Equis.
Yeah, okay, okay.
I miss Dos Equis. I wish they would make Dos Equis with non-alcohol. But since they got those non-alcoholic like Heinekens, dude, those are good.
The
And
Zeros,
yeah, those are really
those
good,
are,
and
yeah,
so are those Budweiser Zeros. The
the
Budweiser
double
Zero,
zeros literally taste just like Heineken.
dude, and
I don't think I've ever had anything. Like, I don't ever, like, want to drink a beer.
see
Right.
that's the
I
thing.
had a drink a couple weeks ago, a month ago or something. At Universal, Max got this, like, I don't know, some blue shit, and it was
Something
real hot.
Yeah,
And
hot
I'm
yeah.
burn.
like, man, that's very refreshing. I took a sip of it, and I'm like, I'm glad I don't drink because it's one of those things like, oh, this is refreshing, and then you get like a real bad headache and want to die and stuff
100%.
because you're in the sun and you're
It's
like,
only good for 8 minutes.
oh, I spent $100 to feel like shit. That's fucking crazy.
Now I gotta drive home feeling like shit.
Yeah.
But I will say
Oh,
though, the Bud Zeros and the Heineken Zeros, like they taste good, right? But they don't have that skunk taste afterwards. Like you know how like Budweiser has that like ugh, and the Heineken because it doesn't have the alcohol in it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It
since it
doesn't have
doesn't
the
have
focus.
that alcohol, it doesn't have that taste. So like, dude, it
And
doesn't make you shit your pants. But you know, TJ, it took me 5 years to be like, you know what? I can drink a non-alcoholic beer. Like I was like scared to drink non-alcoholic beer because I was like, what if like this, you
yeah, I
know?
think a lot of fools are like that. They're worried like if they had a drinking problem and they drink a non-alcoholic beer, it'll just make them want like real beer.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
But yeah, I don't. I mean, I've known quite a few people that that works for like if they're hanging out or whatever, like they go out with people and everyone's drinking, they'll get like a non. I don't even do that. I'll just get like
I
a
just drink
Red
a
Bull.
I just drink a bunch of Coke. And most of the time,
Yeah,
and I've noticed a few times, like if your homies are at the bar buying beers and you order a Coke, your shit is free.
yeah. I mean, it
Or you
makes
just pay
sense
one
because
time and you get free refills, dude.
I'm like such a shitbag. I feel like bad at the bar if I'm like, oh man, I'm not buying drinks, but I'm like, isn't there supposed to be a person most of the time?
who's
Like
not
it's not.
drinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, Wow, yeah, that's a normal thing. There's a lot of people like that's the
Yeah.
responsible thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because they serve alcohol doesn't mean you have to buy it, you know?
Correct.
I mean, I had that problem to where I was like, we're not going unless they serve alcohol. I don't care how
Right.
good the food is. I don't care if the food is shit. We're
I
not
just
going
want.
unless they serve alcohol. Yeah. And I
Or like
mean,
go to shows at spots with no booze, so I just spend 95% of the time like trashing in the parking lot. Shit, like getting shit faced outside.
you know what? Now, whenever another thing too, when I go somewhere, I don't spend that 45 minutes standing in the beer line, and I don't miss shit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dude, those beer lines are
Those,
so ridiculous when you really, and that's anywhere.
and you're
I'm
like,
talking
I
about
used to do
doesn't
that.
matter what theme park or where you're at.
You're like, I used to do that. It's too fucking hot out here for that one. And
Yeah,
twenty
nah.
dollars, $20, you're gonna and like, dude, I've watched. I literally, me and Kayla stood one time, and I watched these dudes go to the Budweiser thing, and like they were, 12. I think it was like 12, not even 16-ounce beers. Like it was just like a normal cup, like the solo cups, pretty much. And like
Yeah,
dudes
yeah.
were ordering two because they were standing there so long, taking like 6 steps and being finished with them. And I'm like, you stood in line for 6 gulps, and then now you're like back in line.
Do you remember when we went to go see Wiz Khalifa in Jacksonville at a college out there,
When they
and
had the
somehow we got into
five
the college.
It was
We
25-cent
fucking
beers, and those kids were dying. They were pulling kids out on stretchers.
Dude, it was insane. And then like there was like a 20-minute period where you could like go get drinks and stuff. So we just all right, let's walk out and just check it out. Dude, the line wrapped around
The
so it
the
was so
line was
many
the hallway.
kids trying to get these 25-cent beers.
Yeah,
It was
like
ridiculous.
there was no line. It was like
No line.
whatever space there was, that was the line. Kids were being carried
Dude,
out on
like
stretchers at that show.
This chat thing.
dude, kids were getting fucking yeah, and kids were getting pulled out even before the show started, which was hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Like there was just kids flatlined already, like 8:15 p.m. We had bleachers. We sat in the bleachers. It was fun though. That was a good time.
Who was with him? Like who else was?
It was just. It was honestly. It
It
was
was
just
just
Chevy
him.
Woods,
It was
and then it
it
was
was
Chevy Woods and Wiz.
Yeah, that's because Jacksonville College paid him to come there and play. The only reason why we knew is because I had a homie who went to college there, and she was like, "Yo, Wiz Khalifa's playing at my college. You should come."
And we were like, when? And she was like, tomorrow.
And
And we
our
were like, all
tickets
right,
were
we'll
only,
make it.
what were they, $10?
I don't remember, but I remember looking at each other. We were on the couch at the frat house, and you looked at me and you were like,
Oh,
Tomorrow.
I don't like
can we
this.
make
We were
this?
in the front house and you looked at me and were like, oh man.
You were like, can we make it? I was like, 100%. And I think we rolled like 16 joints. And then we fucked up because we smoked all the weed before the concert.
And then I remember us like having a party pack, and we're like, nah, dude, we can't take anything in there. And then we get in there, everybody's smoking and doing drugs, and we're just sitting there like, we should have took drugs and brought the weed.
Damn it.
Yeah, Mike Busey was there. Remember that?
Yeah, because he was in the roll call line with us.
Yeah, he was right next to us. That was
I
funny.
was like, this fool doesn't even notice me.
Yeah, I was like, what kind of show is this? Like, I was so confused, but it was good. They did it right.
It was in an auditorium.
Yeah, it was literally in an auditorium.
AUNF
Yeah.
in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever this
people.
is.
Where did we stay at that night? Did we stay in a hotel?
Did you stay in a hotel that night?
Didn't know. Oh no.
Was that the night that we went and met up with them too?
Yeah.
I thought that was a different night. I thought those were two
No,
different
same
Jacksonville
night.
trips.
Same night. The other. Oh wait.
I thought those were two Jacksonville different. Those are two different
You're
trips.
100% right. Yeah, no, you're talking about two different things. We
Uh-huh.
didn't get a hotel either time. I'll just say that.
Dang. I'm trying to remember. Like those times are just a blur. There was times I was like, you know what? I'm getting off on Tuesday, and then I go back to work on Friday, so I'm gonna go to bed Thursday night.
Bingo.
I would literally like wake up Tuesday, stay up Tuesday, all of Tuesday, all of Wednesday, and then go to bed Thursday night and be like, okay, I'm done partying.
You gotta get the most bang for your buck.
Dude, we had turn up Tuesdays.
Hey,
got
Matthew,
they got
can I
wild over
respond
there.
to this person up on the chat?
You can respond to whoever.
Whoever it's applesauce is. Hi.
Yeah.
It says amazing music. Can't wait to hear more. Thank you. Hey, and I'm dropping a video in like 15 minutes, actually.
Yes.
The song will be like tomorrow.
And that'll be
I think
right here in the corner.
Yeah.
So it'll get premiered, and then it'll be out. And what? It'll be on all like Spotify platforms and everything tomorrow.
Like some shit takes a while to catch up. Like somebody asked me today about Pandora. It was.
Is that still a thing?
Huh?
Pandora, like the
Yeah,
app?
people still fuck with that shit, and I'm like, well, they emailed me. I don't know. It was like a couple weeks ago that they received it before this shit came out, like 2 weeks ago or whatever. But I don't know how long. Like, I'll get random messages sometimes of like, this is now on some fucking streaming service you've never heard of in your life.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like way later, like a month later or something, for like different shit I've done. This hasn't existed that long, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the next thing that we have to do is eventually get this on all platforms.
Yeah. The only I think yeah, 100%. As long as it can go anywhere, like as long as we can stay unedited across the board, you know what I mean?
I mean, have you heard some of these podcasters out here?
I don't know how it works either. I'm waiting for like cease and desist to come out in the fucking mail.
Any um, you know, distributor to streaming services, I feel like they have stuff for like podcasts and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? And then you're kind of your own company. They might like bitch you.
I looked
I don't
into
know.
it one time. There is this one company that does it. Like you pay this one company and they will distribute it to everything for you. I think that's what it is. It's not like you just go, hey, I want to do this. You do it separately. I think it's just like one thing.
All the platforms. And
it's pretty much like the same thing you did.
Yeah, and like Spotify and stuff. Probably you could put.
No, they have podcasts on Spotify.
Yeah. Like I don't know, like if I could do that, I don't know how that works. Like the video part, like definitely the audio you could,
Yeah.
but
because even our YouTube, just to keep the YouTube, so because like on Twitch you can do more things on Twitch than you can on YouTube, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But so that's why we just put the audio on YouTube, so like they can't flag us for anything, for any smoking, no nothing, or like
Is that a thing?
100%.
yeah, they can flag your videos for even smoking cigarettes or drinking. Yeah, like they can, and like, dude, I just got a new updated of terms of fucking conditions and shit.
Oh, 100%. And like also like fucking, and I'll do it just because I think it's funny. When you just say the word COVID in your podcast or on anything, like
Yeah.
like they fucking they demonetized it. They put up warnings on your shit.
Yeah,
which is hilarious. I think it's great.
But so like I figured, that would be the best way, and whenever you upload the audio, you have to upload it as an audio video so it counts as a video as well. So it still gets the watch time, the listen, the likes, so like
Right.
And they can't
Yeah.
like so with it being a video, they could just be like, you know what, he's wearing a shirt, and well, he didn't have permission to wear that brand, and they could just whatever, you know. They
Permission. I have permission for Hooters.
or if or and
Like,
another
be like,
thing too, if we use the video and then like we use the video again, they'll flag the next video we use the same clip from, so we can't use the same clips twice on YouTube either. If you use the same clip or you use a clip from another streaming service, they'll flag it too, because they flagged Tyler's one time because him and uh, him and one of his homies had this like almost the same clip, and they thought that they were sharing clips, but they took two different clips,
Right.
and so they flagged like one of his videos, I think, and like they demonetized him, which means like, okay, so you're getting, you know, a couple $1,000s a video. Nope,
No, you're
it
not.
all stops right there.
that happens to a lot of people, like, guitar channels and shit. Like, they'll play like fucking 10 seconds of a riff, and like if it's a really popular band, like that quick, they like, a portion of it goes to
Yeah.
that band or like whatever.
Yeah, I think the limit on like YouTube is 15 seconds
Yeah, it's some sort
of playing like a song that's owned.
Yeah, but they have to like. It has to like as you're editing it, like as you're uploading it, they go through your video, so they will let you know before your video goes up. Hey, we're not gonna monetize this one. It's not, your video will not count. We'll still upload it, but like you won't get anything from it.
Yeah.
Yep. It buzz out.
It's just like doing cover songs. If you don't pay the licensing fee, and like, oh, there's all these other rules,
No.
I don't know how any of that legal mumbo jumbo works. You know what I mean?
When it comes to legal, the only thing I know is you don't do anything illegal outside like you fucking would 20 years ago, because everyone's got these fucking cameras on the front of their house,
Man.
doorbells.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't commit a whole bunch of crimes anymore. Like, god damn, it was hard enough then to duck up like a bunch of cameras and people. It's just everywhere. It's so easy.
CCTV is everywhere, and the fact that, so like, check this out. So
Even a phone, bro. It used to at least be like somebody's like, I'm calling. Oh, and you got to talk for them to at least like get into the house to use
Yeah.
the phone to like run or something.
Yeah.
Now it's like you look over, there's 8 people on that shit.
There's a drone.
Yeah,
Just a cop drone just
Robocop
floating over your
shows up,
house.
shooting fools in the dick and stuff. Like, all kinds of things. I don't want to leave the house anymore.
No, it's terrifying.
yo, and whenever what they do, all they have to do is be like, wait, you have Ring, this guy has Ring, and all they do is just get the footage from like your whole neighbor, and then you see everything that just happened.
Yeah, insurance companies use
It's like
all
a
the
360.
fucking, like, ring lights and all the ones in like the traffic lights and shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And if they're like, I wasn't doing that, or they're like, well, you were over there because you
100%.
passed this traffic light at this time, and you were, you know what I mean?
No, they definitely do that.
Oh, Skynet's a thing, man.
Yo, that's
Yeah, so, like, where are you not on camera at this point? You know what I mean? Nowhere.
Yeah, you gotta be
Like,
like,
bathrooms are
really
sketchy,
know
right?
that.
well. So we'll see. They can't film in the bathroom.
A bathroom is sketchy.
They can't
Like,
film in the bathroom, but there's a
like,
camera on the
you know,
outside of you going into it.
I be thinking about that all the time. It's funny, and like we were talking about that earlier. People looking at like cameras and how you can get anybody's ring lights, and like people sit there and like hack into phones or just look at people's cameras in their phones. And the only like glory in that is just, I guess, me being opposite. Like people are like, oh my God, what if they do something? I just think about, say, if you had 1,000 random phones up on a screen like that, how many fucking times a day are they sitting there catching jack off face like it's a close
Yeah.
up? It's so fucking funny. I'm like, that's
1,000%.
You know what I mean? Or like
You see
people,
everything you don't want to see.
yeah, like it's so weird. Like, why would you? want to do that, but
Well, I
A
think
lot of it would be like just like ceiling view or face down. Like anybody who puts their shit face down, like a lot of it would just be dark screen.
there's a
Your
lot of
phone's
people.
the majority
There's a
of the
lot of
day.
people that have like those little cameras in their house that comes like with their internet company, you know.
I
And
don't like it.
those are very, yeah. You know, I went over to like one of my homies' house one time. I was like, "Yo, what is that little R2D2 thing?" He's like, "Oh, it's a camera." I was like, "For what?" I was like, "You
Yeah,
making?"
right. For what?
He
for
was
the
like,
police, that kind of
I was like, you know,
It's the
people
help
can
desk.
like look
yeah.
at you on that thing, right? He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "People can hack into that and literally look at you, like, and watch
Dude,
everything you
even the
do."
smart TVs. The smart TVs people can fucking get into. Like the TVs that you
Anything,
talk
bro.
to, anything that you talk to, 100%.
Microchip can be hacked into in some form
If
or
it
another.
has an internet connection, easily.
Nanobots.
Yeah,
I don't trust it.
like Ant-Man.
I walk around with a phone all day.
All day.
My whole world is live on the fucking internet.
But even like cars, when you think about it, like they can look at cameras, right? Like they can look at your camera when you're at your house. They can easily control a car.
If you,
You
if
know
you
what
got
I
a
mean?
smart car, yeah.
100%. Well, not even a smart car. Like most cars nowadays have a fucking computer in it. When
Hmm.
you think about it.
If it's got Bluetooth,
Yeah.
if it has,
So I
if
mean,
it has wireless anything, it has somewhat of like a network, pretty much.
I think it was on like Fast and Furious 23 where the dude like controlled the car without being in the car. Like he hacked into the dude's car.
You mean The Rock?
The
Get to my Night Rider.
smaller one.
You know what? Check it out.
The
I
Pebble.
have never watched the Fast and the Furious movie.
Any of them?
No, the only time I've even seen any of one,
Tokyo Drift.
maybe that one I think it was, and it was on FX in jail. Like they let us watch the TV like it was a holiday or something, and it was like that. So I watched
It
a
was a
few minutes of
holiday.
it. I forgot about this stupid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That was the only time I ever saw Fast and the Furious.
And so would you say that that one's your favorite?
I don't know because it could go either way. Since the only one I saw, it could be like that's the dumbest one I've seen, or it's the best one.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah, but
only.
isn't that the one with
I don't know.
Ludacris?
For sure.
Ludacris and Lil Bow Wow?
Lil Bow Wow's in it?
Like I don't know
I
what
think
I
he's
just
like
don't
trading,
really
like,
give a fuck
yeah, I
about
think Lil
cars
Bow Wow's in
that
it. He's like selling Jordans in the beginning.
I don't think Fast and Furious is about cars.
Yeah, I don't really give a fuck
I
about
think they're in
diesel
space.
or cars or like
The Furious Eight, that
There's no way they're driving cars in space, right?
the Furious Eight, that Adam Sandler movie.
That's with not Jamie Foxx, the other dude, the comedy movie.
That movie was terrible.
what's going on?
The Netflix movie,
Oh my
Uncut
god,
Gems.
that was a
I
good
never
one.
watched it anymore. Like I try real hard. Well, not really. Every once in a while, I'm gonna watch a thing, but if I can make myself sit there, I just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard for me to watch movies too. I don't care. Like if I'm comfortable and I just get real comfortable and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is a good movie.
Yes,
I'm out.
I can't. I either gotta be like doing a thing.
Yeah.
Kayla, wake me
Or
up, you're
I'll
snoring.
put Pops on and just have that shit running all day.
Yeah, we were just watching Cops.
can't go
Yeah,
wrong.
old episodes of Cops are so funny, man. Like, especially when they get some like really shitty weed. You know what I mean? And they act like they made some like major bust. I'm like, yo,
They pull out
all
like,
of y'all.
they pull out 3 lids.
Yeah, if that.
I'm gonna start bringing that back. Like, go into the dispensary, like anybody that sells weed, and be like, "How much for a lid?" And when they're like, "What?" I'm just gonna roll my eyes and like, and just leave. I only buy my weed by the lid now.
Like, yo,
Get 60.
why is it in this jar? Y'all ain't got no sandwich bags?
That's what on the dude. The dude gets pulled over, and the cop pulls out I'm talking about a giant, like 64-ounce blue mason
like a
jar.
gallon.
You know
Oh,
what I mean? The blue mason jars, like the ridiculous, like the
Yeah.
gallon. And he's got like an eighth of weed in it. Why do you have this jar? You know, in
Keep
your
it
car.
fresh, man. Yeah, that's got special steel to air. It's mountain air or something. I don't know.
You can buy mountain air. You can buy canned air.
Yeah, didn't like some bitch get like a bunch of money, like super paid off of like selling farts in a jar or something fucking dumb.
I'm sure that's
yeah.
some bitch.
I,
A bunch of
I
bitches.
think I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was one of the girls from like My 600-Pound Life or some shit like that.
No, so okay.
There's so many jobs now that I'm like, that's a job. Like people have the craziest.
Dude, Gary
fucking
Vee said you
jobs,
have to
you
have
know?
3 forms of income. That's
Hey,
what Gary
listen.
Vee said. 3 forms of income at all times. Farts
Gary
and
Vee-
jars, 7-Eleven,
Gary Busey,
and
we're not taking
OnlyFans.
that like him, right?
No, Gary Vee, not Gary Busey. I mean, I would take life advice from Gary Busey on things
But
not
not
to
like
do.
him.
If he told me things not to do, I'd be like, I would listen to him. If he told me things to do, can't do
Would
that.
you ask him for directions?
I can't help you.
Well, it depends. Like, what if you run into him, like a random? You're like, why would he know?
I
He
mean,
would just look at you and be like, "You got a phone, bitch."
your phone might be dead, and you're driving an old school car. You're driving a '67.
I don't. When I leave Florida, or I guess just the southeast, I can't comprehend directions. People are like, "Go to this road and this street." I'm like, "Hold on, man. There ain't like a McDonald's or you don't pass no cemetery on the right."
Yo, where
You
I
go past
live,
the Walkwell to 2 lights. Then there's this raggedy house and a trailer park.
There ain't a church.
That's what that's what
yo, I stopped asking people for where stuff is because like where I live, it's you've seen it, Jario. It's pretty fucking royal and like
Yeah.
rural.
royal.
That's like people who say Louisville. Louisville,
I don't know
Kentucky.
how you say it. Like royal. I don't know, but
Wow.
But that was like one time I did ask a guy because I was looking for this motorcycle shop and I couldn't find it on fucking Google because, well, some of these places just ain't on Google. And the directions this guy told me, I was just like, oh my God, I'm never going to fucking find this place. I mean, my man was describing light poles.
Wow,
Like,
that's some deep right
yeah,
there.
he was like, look for. He's like, there's a right across the street from it. He's like, the building doesn't look like a motorcycle shop. He's like, but there's a light pole, there's a new one, and one cut in half right next to it. And I was like, what?
So you're like looking for that cut in half light bulb.
Mm-hmm. Sure
Man,
enough, that's where it was.
Did he find it? Was he right? Like, was he at least accurate with his
100%.
information?
He was 100%
He
right.
knew what he was talking about. Yeah, he knew what he was talking about. That's good.
Hey Matthew, my song came out. My phone just told me that.
It's out now.
Yeah, the
It's
video.
past
Just the
9:45.
video. Yeah, it just went.
Let me see. Let's pull it up.
Let's see. World premiere
Oh man, it's ridiculous.
coming at you live.
Yeah.
Chopped Up is the name.
Ooh, 1 second.
TJ is the train.
I so absolutely bit a Cannibal Corpse cover for the artwork. It's at the very beginning, like the artwork for the song. It's nothing like Spooky Bitches. It's the opposite end of the spectrum of that. It's yeah.
Oh, so with the premiere.
And Mo angrier.
So with the premiere, as soon as you open it, it just starts playing from.
Oh, I guess so. We gotta wait till it's done now. So
Yeah.
just not very long, like 3 minutes or something, like normal.
Yep.
Length. So it'll probably reload pretty quick. But since we have a second, I do have another one that's more in the vein of spooky bitches coming out in like 2 weeks from tomorrow. I have one next week also. I have a song every week, like tomorrow, next week.
Fridays?
Yeah, Fridays.
Okay.
Hopefully more, we'll see how it goes, like what I have time for. I definitely have a few,
So you just
no.
already have like a playlist ready to go almost.
Yeah, I mean, I'll make them in like kind of like spurts, but
He's got some stuff in the chamber.
he heard him. I played him.
Yeah, he's
the
got
other.
some.
They're all a little different, you know what I mean. This one's a little out there on the angry side, and the next one's a little weird, and then that other one, it's a banger. The one that's another kind of spooky bitches-esque song. If there's a hell and I wasn't going, yeah, done.
Hot.
Done for.
Hot.
Done.
Like,
maybe.
you know?
I like it's like definitely. It's another like spooky bitches, like horny dude song. But
Another
it's just
horny dudes.
yeah, well based on a prayer. Based on the Lord's Prayer, I suppose.
It's awesome. I think it's fucking heat. I can't wait for everyone to hear it.
Yo, my band, Trauma Bombs, we dropped the EP last week.
Trauma Bomb.
Or, totally different. It's hardcore, but,
Okay.
That's my baby.
And you guys are doing a show this week?
We're doing a show Saturday.
Nice.
At Union Hall. So this is weird. We have a new drummer and a new second guitar player. I've never met either one of these gentlemen in real life ever. I've never even talked to this new drummer, but I trust Adam.
I thought-
It's gonna be
Okay.
cool. I'm like, what's up? Hi, let's play the show. It's been so hard to get this one to happen.
So does he already like know the songs?
Yeah, Adam jammed with it. Yo, shout out to Adam too. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
That's
I kind of want to know how this works, like, because do y'all like actually like write music, or it's like you just have to kind of be like, hey, here's our music and play it for someone who plays an instrument, and like, just this is it, play this.
It's weird, man. Maybe because everybody's like busy, and everyone in this deal's like done bands a long time, and it's the future. So it's just shit's different now. Like when I was still in Pittsburgh, I wrote like whatever, like 6 songs or something. I made 4, did a little demo myself, put it out with the like, if I build it, they will come attitude. You know what I mean? And like, gathered some folks up and came down here, and like it's just scheduling super hard more than anything. You know what I mean? And we'll practice in pieces, or everybody just kind of does their homework. Like everybody's kind of
Unified
done it up, done it. You know what I mean? As an actual job a lot. Like Adam's in multiple bands, and he's like a god tier shredder, man. The dude's good, and I've just been lucky to know him my whole life. You know what I mean? And his band Endorphin, he does, and this, and he's in like this Metallica band that does like covers of whole records, and
Sick.
that's pretty cool. Like, and a blues band called The Company, like a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
He was in Propane before, and did like a little stint with Crumbsucker, stuff like that. He did Propane for some years, and like Jeff was in Crowbar for some time, and then did some little tours with 6 Feet Under and like Go Horn, like some shit like that. So I mean, everybody's like, we just do our homework, man.
My buddy Damien's like good friends with fucking Jeremy. And like Jeremy even put a shout out for the last album that came out that everybody fucking hated. Like, yo, people just ripped that thing to fucking shreds, dude. Like, and Damien's like, it's my fault. I sat in the studio and just got in fucking super high the whole time. And he's like, Damien goes, dude, there was a few times that I was like, do you think you should do that again? And he was like, nah, dude, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, sometimes, like, I guess trying a thing, like, it doesn't always work out, like it does. But I don't know, man. Like, those dudes, and 'cause, you know, before I was doing the death metal project with my dudes Nick and Trey. Shout out to Trey, he's watching. He
But
actually
also
is.
trying to like this genre of music, like trying to make something new that hasn't been made because it's been around for so many years. It's like, how can I make a new sound that's not already been a sound?
Yeah, it's like there's so much. You know what I mean? There's so many bands, and there's like so many good bands and just okay bands, and like, but there's not really a whole lot of people that like fuck with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? There are like enough of an audience, but it's like the demand for it, like how many people listen to it. There's 8 trillion bands. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
so much harder to stick out and be like, hey, look at me when you're in a new band. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
As opposed to like, I don't know, the other shit I'm doing now, it's like kind of weird the opposite. Like the market's like giant. I didn't even realize all this till recently. Like how many people fucked with that kind of stuff, and like there's not a whole lot of it. I mean there is kinda, but not similar to me, like certain things, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's been weird that I've like discovered so much music in the past couple weeks. Like if you're like, you sound like this or this, I'm like, oh cool, I don't even know what that is. And some of it's been real cool, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah, because even
some
whenever I talk to you, there were some things you're like, I didn't know that, I didn't know this, and I'm like, that's crazy that like that you're making something like because you're like, I just want it to sound like this, but like without
Yeah.
well,
hearing any of this other stuff.
yeah, it was more like a, you know what I mean, anything. I'm like, if I'm trying to do what somebody else is doing exactly like why, they already are doing that.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be better than me, you know. It kind of more started with, yo, I want to see if I could make a cool beat, and I didn't even realize. I'm like, do I already have this stuff in like, you know, the like music stuff like my DAW and shit? And I did, and then shout out Trey, and he sent me like a Boss 808 pack, which I think I used maybe one of those samples on a song or like layered together. I don't know, but you know, it just started that like, oh, these beats are cool, and the first couple I made, I didn't use because like they're cool, I like them, but they don't really fit, and I don't know.
So you just
And
wanted to make beats,
yeah, well, I just was like fucking with the
no
stuff, and then like
lyrics.
it came to me, and I honestly thought like my voice was dumb, kind of, because everybody does. I mean, I know I could scream and do all this other shit like that, but then I was like everything, quit thinking about what anybody else does, just do what you do. You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
like made a couple songs in like relatively quick in a few days, and I was like, dang, this is kind of pretty good. I feel like this is solid, you know. And then
It is definitely solid.
I had like two in the works, and then like Spooky Bitches. I thought of that one morning when I was drinking coffee. That's when I do the best thing. I'm just sitting there and it's
First
quiet,
thing,
you know,
yeah.
old man, coffee and like cigarettes and
Oh
shit.
man.
And I don't know, man, and like 90% the hook just popped in my head, and I went inside and I started making the beat. Like, you know, I started with the little piano riff or whatever it starts with. And it took me like a couple hours. And like by the end of the day, I think I had all the words written. And then I woke up the next day and did like just recorded it all pretty quick, like within a couple hours. So, I mean, it might have been
Couple hours is quick.
less than 48 hours, maybe 36 hours after I even had the initial idea for that one. I made the whole thing, and as is now how I like released it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And how's the feedback been from
Really good. Really, really good.
Because I've been seeing a lot of
It's
positive
weird.
feedback on the internet,
Yeah, it's
a
been
lot of good
really,
stuff in the
really.
comments on the internet. People are gravitating towards it for sure.
The strange thing, like I have, like, you know, it was TikTok because that's how things are cool.
Yeah.
I guess how shit gets big.
I
It
can't
worked.
do
I
it.
like, yeah, I had like 17 followers on TikTok and 21 total likes. Like I just made one, you know what I mean, to fuck around. I was like, okay, this is another thing, and people would send
Just
me
another
videos.
platform to
Like,
post to.
yeah, I didn't understand it. I'm like, well, I mean, I get it obviously, but I'm like, I'm not gonna like, hey, look, here's a shirt. Now I'm wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Here's the makeup. Now like that. I'm not. I'm not gonna do that.
You're not trying to do
But
no
anyway,
transition videos.
so
Poof!
the
I'm a
last
Cheeto
video
Puff.
didn't have like no one even saw at all. Like I had 0 views, and I put that fucking the hook for Spooky Bitches up 2 weeks ago today, or maybe a little bit more than that. It was like a week before it came out, basically right after I whipped together this lyric video. And it was like a slow thing. And then I think after 2 days, 2 Thursdays ago, I woke up and I had like 82 followers and almost like 2,000 views on it. And
Wow.
100 and some likes. And I'm like, wow, that's like 10 times more likes than I had followers at the end of the day. And then that shit was like hitting like a stock ticker. Kind of was weird, man. And shit, I'll look right now.
Yeah, what
It got to like fucking 221.1 thousand views right now, and 30,000 likes. And
Wait, how many did you say?
it has views, it's 221.1 thousand.
200,000 views?
Yeah, 221, and it has
Plus 21.
30,000 likes. It's weird, right?
Hell
And
yeah,
like,
dude.
so I was
That's
trying to just get to the
amazing.
point about the feedback. On just that video, it has like 525 comments, and so usually you get hated on like a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting on that. Like, you'd be like, oh, your shit's
You were
stupid.
just
And
waiting
this
for
is
the
fine.
hate.
I
You're
don't
like, yeah, bring it on, haters.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I've only got one kind of, not even that negative. It was like some dude that said something
Some guy.
corny, but it didn't even make sense. And I was like, well, thank you.
Yeah, and think
I
about
can't wait to hear what you put out.
Yeah.
And then he said a bunch of other words that didn't go together very well. And I was gonna be like, judging by this, you're gonna be a great rapper. But I didn't. I was just like, I really hope he put an awesome thing out. Maybe he will. I hope he does. I hope maybe out of spite, because my shit's so corny to him.
That
He
shit
makes
works out.
that
You
something
gave
super
him
awesome. I
some
feel like,
motivation to.
And then maybe he'll feature you one day.
yeah.
Maybe shout out TJ Trainwreck
that's
for this
like- that's it.
motivation. Fuck him.
One negative comment. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's weird. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I almost expected like, cool. I don't care.
That's the people.
Yeah, but
You know
Like,
what I mean?
but so many people say crazy shit. Like, this is my favorite shit now. Or like, you can go on there and read it. It's real weird.
how many goth girls came out for it?
A good amount. So, and I'll be like, this is my anthem. This song was
Let's
made.
go.
It's like they're weird. Like, it
Let's
doesn't seem
go.
like they're talking about a thing I did. I'm like, man, I just like do dabs and get like chill in my bedroom and make stupid songs about fucking
Nerd.
One girl
whatever I think about at the time.
One girl said this song was playing when I came out of my mom's vagina. You know what I mean? Like,
Is that a real thing? Is that
the comments are wild, for sure.
Yeah, Dario was telling me the other day, he's like, yo, I've been reading these comments.
Like all these people are like, oh, I love you, and I'm like, really? Like that? Thank you, And I've tried to respond to almost everyone, or at least like them, or like do the best I can. Like I don't know. It's weird, man.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep doing. Like I got a song, this one that's coming out tonight that the video just came out for, and I have one next week, and then the next week, and then
And you've already got, what, 3 out before this?
5 songs.
5 out already?
The first thing, so I put out 2 weeks ago tomorrow. I put out 5 songs, that EP.
Boom, so you can have
And
a
then I
playlist.
put out Trauma Bonds, my band. We put out a 4-song EP last Friday, and then tomorrow I'll put out Chopped Up. The following Friday is Coffin Cloud. The one after that's Good Lord.
Coffin Clout?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a little weird one. I don't know how to.
I
It's
mean,
all fun.
listen,
it's
I can't blame you for going, I don't know how to, because whenever I'm like, what's the genre for this music? What's it sound like? There's
You know what I'm saying? Like people
like I can't
compare.
think of a genre. I can't think of a comparison to like what it sounds like because it doesn't sound like anything else. Like you know.
Well, I guess like there's similarities for sure. Like I've had people be like, "Oh, it sounds like a, this or that," and I'm like, "Okay." Stuff I hadn't really listened to a whole lot, and then I can see the similarities. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people being like, "Oh, that sounds like kind of like Ghostman or something," and I obviously aware he exists. He's also from Florida and
Yeah,
lives in
yeah, yeah.
bands, but I never like dug in and listened. But heard songs, started listening to his stuff a little bit more, and I do really like some of it, and I get it. I'm like. Oh, he liked probably a lot of the same stuff I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Well, thinking about that kind of rap stuff, or like the way I sing the hook, and I'm like, yeah, I'm probably more Project Pat, 3 6 Mafia,
Right.
Bone, Onyx.
It's
I was
like a
listening.
it's like a lot of stuff mashed
That
into
kind of stuff.
something.
That
It's
kind of
literally
stuff.
like everything thrown into the kitchen sink.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just like a lot of stuff. This one I say that just came out. You fuck with City Morgue. It's kind of more in their vein. It's a way more like aggressive yelly
I,
one
I,
kind of.
I do fuck with them.
Yeah, didn't you go see those dudes?
I got to see City Morgue and Sosa Mula and Zillakami. They both perform separate too. So like
Didn't wasn't it like Nate No Face
uh,
there?
yeah, I got to meet him too. Hung out with him. He's really fucking dude. He's such a nice dude.
Yeah, he's like homies with Mexican.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's a
It's funny
personality.
because that's how I found out about him was through him because they did all that what is that I think it's called like Dead Punks or something like that where they do all those underground they did
That's pretty good.
the bridge under the bridge shows well he did that show with Section Hate and
They've done
that's how I
quite
found
a few
out
of them, I guess.
but it was the big one it was like the one that was on the news like the big one.
Yeah, like last May, I believe it
Yeah.
was.
When dude, that
Like,
was insane.
I knew, like, well, I didn't know what exactly ahead of time, but Mike was like, "Yo, you should come out here. We're doing a thing. It's gonna be sick." And I'm like,
Dude,
"Oh,
his band is killing
Yeah.
it.
It's definitely.
that looks like a good one." But
His his band's
yeah,
killing it. They've been all over the place too now.
they're doing great, man. They're playing a lot of like all the good, well, bigger hardcore shows.
Bigger venue.
Got it.
This is hardcore.
Yeah,
That's stacked up last month.
the Super Bowl, man. I don't think they
Speaking
just put it
speaking
sound good.
of festivals, would you perform at the Gathering?
Oh, 100%, bro.
Ooh.
I way would like.
The Carnival of Dark.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what anybody fucking ever like says about ICP or
I
Juggalos
love it.
or whatever.
I love it. Since I was a kid, I think it's great.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like, I get it. Like, I first heard it and I thought it was like funny, and I'm like, oh, these people take it seriously. But in the realm of the world, they're the fucking most punk rock thing that's ever happened.
Yeah,
Like, there's
in
no
culture
people
wise.
that get shit on fucking more for being literal. Like, they don't fit it in or look, oh, you're white trashy shitheads from a trailer. Well, so am I. You know what I mean? I can relate to them fools more like, you know what I mean? Them kind of dudes. And I'm not a big. I don't really like ICP or get too into it. You know what I mean? I've heard it feeling like it's more like funny to
Is
me.
it on your
For
playlist?
the culture.
Yeah. But like, I have no idea their last million albums. Like, but the thing is, like, they've done this shit by themselves, like, for fucking ever. They have not quit.
I think it's
They
been
have a
like
fucking
22
fest
years now.
every year
This year
that's,
was like this.
super nuts.
Sells the fuck out.
Yeah, every year. They've had a fest longer than anyone, longer than fucking
Makes so much
fest.
money.
Like, you know what I mean? And name another fucking band or anything in history where people like them, and it's not like you might have a homie. Let's pick anybody, Slayer, right? You're like, man, I do has 5 Slayer shirts, and that seems obnoxious. Like, why do you have 5 Slayer shirts or 5 Pantera shirts or a band like that?
Yeah.
But like 90% of the fools, man, they got like every fucking shirt they got, it's like a fucking
They're
Dude,
dying.
juggalo. They
like,
got socks, drawers,
they
a
are the
hat,
most
fucking butt plug, anything.
dedicated, like head to toe, necklaces, like to their
Bingo.
shoestrings, everything.
Bingo board.
Who has more? There is no thing I can think of, like band logo or whatever. More fucking people have tattooed on them.
Yeah.
More than like the Crimson Ghost or
Like,
Black Flag
like
Party,
when
like
was the
anything.
last band that was big enough that America considered their fans a gang?
Yeah, like that's fucking nuts.
The FBI
Apparently,
considers
like,
them a
About
gang.
that.
for people I've like heard that have like played it or went or whatever, they're like, yo, it's kind of sick. Like nobody fights and like everybody's super fucked
No,
up.
it's just a hang.
This
And
year,
I
Sir
never
Mix-a-Lot and
thought.
Slick Rick was there.
Yeah, I didn't see the perspective. Like these people are fucking shit on everywhere they go and made fun of and told they're white trashy and dumb and like. So they're all together at a spot where they're like, yo, this is our fucking shit.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah, so you know what?
You
And
can
like
do
think about
whatever you
how
want
many
there.
fucking people they've put on, bro. Like how many people have like
A lot
done
of people
shit
have
like the
opened up for
gathering
them.
and
Yeah.
fucking, you know what I mean? And people can play too cool all day, but the kind of people that sit around and hate on stuff and say shit's dumb, they're not fucking doing anything.
Yeah, it's like,
All
what
I
do
do
you
is
like
like
though?
literally anywhere that I could work it out. Like if people want me to play, like or would come see me. Like my band's anything, dude. Like anybody that likes anything I do, that gets tattooed by me, that's ever bought a painting from me, like fucking anything, that buys merch, like that shit's fucking cool. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I've had so many shitty jobs and all these things like that suck, and I'm like, there's just so much other stuff people could be doing with their time and money, and like, oh, you want to fuck with me? Why would I like not think that's cool?
No.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
I,
I
I
mean?
get that sometimes too. Like people like talk shit to me, and I'm just like, but what are you doing? I don't just like you said to the kid. Well, I can't wait to hear your next song. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, what are
Man,
you
like,
doing though?
it's not, yeah, and it's like weird, and you see that like when you're younger or whatever, you like hate on shit, which is stupid because you're mad at yourself, but like, it's not a fucking competition either, you know what I
Life is not a competition.
mean? Even in the game of like music or like podcasts, are you mad because someone's doing better?
Nah,
Like,
there's way too
you
much
know,
food out there, man.
exactly, like same with music, you know what I mean? There's more times where I'm like, damn, I don't know what to listen to right now, or I don't know what I feel like listening to, or new shit will come out. I'm like, this is pretty cool, and I'll fuck with it for a couple spins or listen to it for a couple days, and it's good, but it ain't like grabbing me, and I go back to stuff I've liked my whole life, or you know
Hmm.
what I mean?
I do that.
It's not like there's a lot of music and it's super hard to stick out and find stuff, but there's not a lot of like super great. There's never going to be too much is the point.
Right.
Hmm.
It's not like a competition like five kids can start fucking bands or start rapping or a combination or whatever. It doesn't matter. Right now, or five kids in high school could be hanging out and all be amazing painters, and I'm not like, oh fuck, I don't have room for all five of you. Shit, like that's not fucking real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's too many good movies right now. Like
Yeah.
people aren't like that's not a real thing. Like, so you can do well and other people can do well too, and it's almost like the more cool shit people do, like
The more cool shit there is.
yeah, it influences people in other ways, or maybe they
That's what
like
I was
one
gonna
thing.
say. The more people do, the more it influences. Like, because even if somebody does something shitty, somebody out there is like, I bet I can do that better than him.
Yeah, or it
And
just
they might be
sparks an idea,
And they might.
like,
And they might be the
or they
greatest
might
at it.
think like, well, that thing's kind of dumb, but this thing about it, like, I really like what they were going for here. Like, man, you get ideas from everywhere. At least I
Yeah.
do. Like, it's super random. You know what I mean? It is even stuff that doesn't sound like shit, like in trauma bonds and shit. It's real weird sometimes, like melodies. One of the songs that sounds like one of our most like punk rock type songs. The riff, the main riff. I mean, it switched around, but almost I feel like the chord progression. I
Mhm.
was like had the fucking Highwaymen, like Ghost Riders in the Sky in my head.
Okay.
Dun, 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 and you know, and it ended up being like that kind of, and I'm like, yeah. And then the vocal cadence, I'm like, did I just like take two lines out of Arm and Hammer, like the pattern, and just expand on that? And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I made a metal song out of it. Highwaymen and Kevin Gates is an influence. Yeah, there it is.
That's awesome.
You know,
There it
yeah, and all of a sudden, I don't know.
is. But it worked.
It's just there. It fits. Like there's this like thing I feel like in good music, you know, because I like so much just bullshit, like kind of
Well,
stuff.
if you make music, you
Trends.
have to listen to all music because even if like you can, there's a lot of rappers like from like you know the early '90s like mid 2000s that will tell you like the reason why their style of hip hop is that is because of metal or they listened to this song and they heard this metal song and they just wanted to make it into like you know what I mean a hip hop beat too. Like that's
Yeah.
been like a thing like Juicy J his favorite band is fucking Metallica, I think.
You know, sometimes you just really like stuff. Like there's different periods of life and people that are like, I only like this one thing so much. You know, it's kind of crazy because it's all like different. You know, like there's so many records or things that I love, like it just gets me. And they're so different than other things. You know, like there could be like a country song that I like as much as a death metal song or a black metal song or a rap song, and I'm like, man, I love those equally as much and just for different reasons, you know.
No.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's just like that. There's just certain like elements that transcend all music that makes like good shit, I guess, you know, that they all have in common. You know,
Do you think that helps you whenever you're creating your music?
I guess, yeah, because it's like this giant Rolodex of just
It's
sounds.
kind of
Yeah.
it kind of seems like what you were saying too. You're like listening to this one song and you're like, I can make this heavy and faster, but it's a
Or
completely
maybe,
different
you know, it'll
genre,
be like,
you know?
you never know. It'll be like a weird thing in a song. I'll be like, man, I like how that hi-hat pattern is.
Right.
And it won't be the same, but just that'll give me an idea that's nothing relatively like it. It'll just be one little thing like sticks out or a sound or you know what I mean? Just
No.
it's hard to say, or you know, sometimes like that. I have working on a song that's like a hardcore metal song and listening to other shit, and you know, the words I was already coming. I'm like, wait a minute, like just hearing the pattern is what it is. I'm like, oh, like this tail if it was a slightly different like that.
Right.
Just weird stuff like that. I don't know. You know, like it just depends. Definitely different places. Like the Vulture, the death metal thing, random bullshit. The last song was the first season of True Detective. You know,
Hmm.
Matthew McConaughey shit, like Rust Cole.
Yeah.
No.
Oh well, that shit is fucking sick. You should watch that stuff. He says some stuff in there like about everybody like just giving up and like on humanity and breeding ourselves out of existence. And he's like one final midnight. So I just made a whole. That's kind of what I got the idea for it. Yeah, you know what I mean. It fit like the how English works. So I was like, yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, that's right.
I just like Matthew McConaughey. So
No, he's great. He's great. What's
He's
your favorite movie?
yeah, he's a character, dude.
I don't know, man. I gotta really think about that.
What's your favorite Matthew McConaughey movie?
Uh oh man.
I really.
Uh it would
A lot of.
have it would have to be
I was gonna say Days of Confused.
no, not Dazed and Confused. It'd probably have to be like what was it? Uh the fucking that was it Dallas Buyers Club? Where he was
Yeah,
like 60 pounds, dude. Like
so good.
yo,
Insane.
he is a wild one. I watched this thing one time where this girl was like it was like one of those like Hollywood stories, you know, and they did like like a cartoon behind the story of them telling it, and
Oh,
and like it was the girl. I think it was the girl that like played. Uh, what's her name? Monday from Arrested Development.
I never watched that show.
Oh, well, I think it was that girl. She said that like her and a friend like went to Matthew McConaughey's house one time and he was like shit-faced drunk. And she said that like in his kitchen was just like knife marks and carvings like into like the wood and like all this like random stuff and like it was like a mess and like she like said all this stuff about it. Like I was like, that dude just parties. I mean, he did get arrested for playing bongos naked in his backyard.
Have you seen that Harmony Korine flick, The Beach Bum?
Yeah,
Uh,
that
Yeah, it's like him and
actually,
Snoop Dogg.
you know what? That would be my favorite Matthew. That
Snoop Dogg claims that stoned Matthew McConaughey is the greatest rapper on the face of the earth. He said he freestyled for like 9 hours straight, and he's like, he was switching his flow and everything. He's like, he got high and just never stopped. He's like,
dude, I completely forgot about that movie. That one's definitely my favorite Matthew McConaughey movie.
I just like Harmony Korine. So I mean, sometimes obviously it's super weird, and you're like, what the fuck? But you know, my affinity for like Gummo, like I'm a been a
No,
very
whenever he did that Gummo Supreme collab,
yeah.
I had to get it. I have the deck like right here with fucking the boy in the tub, like he's in the tub eating the spaghetti. I have the I have the shirt like with him like eating the tub and the tub the spaghetti, and I have the shirt with what's her name on it. What was her name? Moody? Was her name Moody? But she was also the same girl that was in like Kids.
The blonde girl, man. There's a lot of people, so I'm like drawing complete blanks.
Yeah, weed's supposed to help with your memory.
I gotta piss real bad too.
I mean, you can go anytime you want. You're more than welcome to, sir. Wash your hands. Wash your hands.
In this giant mansion, this dwelling.
This dwelling. Oh man.
Yo,
What's up?
fucking
Mhm.
you were well. We'll wait for TJ to get back. But I want you to tell me about what you were going to talk about on the phone with me earlier, but we decided to wait.
Oh, about this fucking Murdoch stuff.
Yeah, I want to know what that's about. 100%. I like. Is it a conspiracy? I like conspiracies. You know. Or is it just like an idea, or is it an actual thing? Like it's already
It's already a thing.
okay. I like that. That's like Mel's Hole. They said that there was this like Indian reserve that had this hole in it that was just like eternally deep, and they kept throwing shit in it, and like it never filled up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know a few girls. I don't even know how I came in on this. It's so bad. All right, where's my video, man? It's been like 45 minutes. I feel like it's done.
Oh yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah.
We could definitely do that. You still got that queued up, brother?
Oh yeah. We got that right here. I got 50 seconds on it.
Probably watched it already. So yeah, like 8 people. So it's okay. You guys beat me to watch your mouth shit. Good job.
Even
Oh,
better.
go Giants.
Oh, that means I have to.
Rules.
Ooh.
Wait, this
Close.
isn't the one I was looking for.
Tricked.
Ooh, I like that fancy 90s window graphic.
Yeah.
You like my transition?
Yo, did anybody like the intro music?
Yeah, also, yeah. By the way, this was the first episode we had an actual intro.
Yes.
And that was done also by TJ himself. So that was real rad. We hope you and did
Did I share my screen with y'all? Oh yeah, y'all can
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Just making sure that y'all can see that.
Yeah. That's his Mario
Hands.
That's his little pointy hands. His little Mario Paint.
What? Huh?
You remember Mario Paint?
Dude.
Fucking
Yeah.
Nintendo.
I
Yep.
do.
And that mouse pad, that thing was dope.
I
You
have
would lose a little.
I have a Nintendo 64 in the closet that's like in the box, like got everything.
It works.
Yep.
Cool.
Here's the funny thing about it is, right? The homie sent it to me. I was like, cool, got this retro game. I went to go try to buy some games. Dude, you want to know how much GoldenEye is right now?
Very expensive.
Not paying it. I bought Mario Golf for $30. Was mad
Yeah.
about it, right? Came
And
home.
Mario Golf wasn't even a good one.
I came home. Bruh, chill.
Hey, Mario Golf didn't have shit on Mario Tennis.
Dude, it's you right.
Alright,
Okay,
we're good.
you right.
Yeah.
But so then I like started pretty much almost dumping money into this Nintendo 64. Then I realized, you know what? I have a PC. So
Yeah,
then I just downloaded a Nintendo 64 emulator. I literally
For sure.
I have like over 1,000 games for a Nintendo 64 games, over 1,000 of them, 13 gigs.
Yeah, you're set.
Every
What's
game.
top N64 games? Definitely GoldenEye 100%. Mario 64. Specifically.
Mario 64. I would.
Yo, like I don't give a fuck about
You
video
jumped into
games too
paintings.
much, but I do remember those like that. The fucking Zelda.
Oh, Majora's Mask.
No,
Ocarina of Time.
that's the last one. Like I was
GoldenEye for
really
Nintendo
gonna watch
64.
DJ play it, but you know.
Yeah, you got that horse.
Yeah. That I like.
I too have it now because I downloaded. Chat. I have it now because I
think
downloaded the emulator for it.
It was a PlayStation 2. Yeah.
Okay.
I got
Spyro the
one,
Dragon?
like didn't even
No, that was
like
that was
PlayStation
PlayStation 1.
Like
That was definitely PlayStation 1. Alright.
Grand Theft Auto 3 was dope. That was a game changer.
Got
yes.
Get the flying car cheat code.
Alright, we got 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
1 second. I thought.
Yeah, that was the worst.
I thought that was the countdown.
Man.
Yeah, shout out to all the producers out there. That's just hard, you know. That's good. Yeah, we're not
You're like, man, every time you know, I'm jobs now. But
100%. I'm the sound guy, the producer, the editor. Comes out in the quality, though.
what are you looking
Yeah,
at? Yeah, I've been so.
I'm watching your video. I'm watching your video. My TV screen's right here.
Okay, well, maybe I was talking to you like.
It's not on the screen.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
I shared my screen, so though you have to watch the thing that I shared. You have to go to watch stream.
Yeah.
You not see it? Hold on.
Wait a minute, something happened.
There we go. I mean, I can see it. Oh, now I gotta do it again.
Yeah, we saw like
100%.
we saw
100.
like 20 seconds.
That's what he was watching for the 4 minutes.
Yeah, so when
I
this
thought
was
that you
shit,
could
like,
see it.
and I was like,
We had no
we
idea what
thought
was
you
going
were
on.
frozen.
We thought you were frozen.
Yeah, we couldn't even see it, so we were just.
No, I was sitting
Sorry,
there.
you guys can watch that on YouTube.
Yeah, it's out and
Here,
it'll be on Spotify.
I'm gonna share the link right now.
And Apple and all those things.
And shout out to all the good weed that got us to this point.
Yo,
We forgot what we were doing.
speaking of music reviews and shit, Shop 31. That dude, he was the best. He was the first one to like do a review on my shit. He be looking out.
Yeah.
He has a channel called Horror Hangout.
Horror Hangout. That's a good name.
Yeah, and Shop 30. That's the movie one of them.
Okay.
Shop 31 is his music review channel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hopefully. We're trying to work it out. I'm gonna do his thing.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's about my time, so no jumper hollers.
Absolutely.
Dude,
Shout out to the jumper.
You never know. You never know.
Two.
You'll get the interesting. Okay, interesting.
All right, breaking news.
Breaking news.
Let's see.
It's still breaking.
So there's only 3 bands playing Saturday now.
Oh.
One of them they can't do it. Their drummer's been sick, and they have something going on. But it's still gonna be like us and A Human Gone, Dead Mirrors, which is cool. My homie in Dead Mirrors, Jeremy, shout out to him anyway. Like our old bands, like me and Adam and his been like a million years ago, used to play shows together.
Yeah.
And like this would be sick. It's like it's
like time travel.
700,000. Yeah, like years ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say how long it is. These people go, why aren't you dead yet? You're so old.
Yeah, I feel like I get that
We
a
all
lot from
respect
this
it.
guy.
We all respect the age hiding
That
on this
loud.
podcast. We keep that age to a secrecy on this podcast.
Yeah.
Did you like the video, Matthew? I didn't watch it with you, so you were like this.
No, the video's great.
Oh, yeah, it's not too silly.
No, it's silly. I love it. I think it's great.
It goes good for it's like
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, that song goes like way harder than any of the other ones I've done. Well,
Yeah.
The first one on the EP is pretty heavy.
Let's get those numbers up.
Yeah, it's doing okay. I mean,
Yeah.
we could do better. Obviously.
No, we're gonna run those numbers up.
We're gonna run them up.
We're gonna run them up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make more real videos also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and have some stuff in it.
Yeah. Now you put a
I just
face.
need more time. That's all I need.
Time is coming.
Yeah, I'm trying
Time
to
is
like
ahead.
tattoo less right now. Do this more.
Yeah, you're like the Justin Timberlake of artistry. You know what I mean? Tattooing, drawing, music videos.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Timberlake, you're a quadruple threat.
I make all our merch too. I wish I could
Merchandising.
dance like him and sing like that. He's got me whooped.
At what?
Singing.
And
Actually.
dancing?
Yeah.
I mean,
Have you tried to dance?
And being.
If we're being honest?
yeah.
Yeah, you saw that video, and that's it. No.
I mean, if I guarantee you watch, a few TikTok tutorials, you'll be out there,
Yeah.
popping and locking in no time, brush.
At the very least, like moves like a Jaguar, you know?
How to like, you know.
Yeah, because that's the song "Moves Like Jaguar," right?
Yeah, like
I
a
thought
Jaguar.
it was moves like Haggard. Back when like
Earl
I
Haggard?
before I knew how to edit videos at
Earl
all, I was like,
Haggard
man,
had moves.
take that like Harry Potter thing, like just like a little back and forth of him dancing,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
that one flick, and just I got them moves like Haggard. I was like, I don't know. Every time I think of that, I'm like, I'm probably the only person that'll think that it's funny. I don't know. That's funny.
So many people think that's fun. People are like-minded. You know?
I don't know. Do Harry Potter fans listen to the Maroon 5?
I don't know. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I go
I
to
do not listen to
Universal.
the Maroon
You
5.
take a survey next time. I'll be like, I'll just walk up to people in Wizarding World, but they got to be like on art, like robe and shit, you know. And I'll be like, excuse me, do you like Maroon 5? And I'll take a tally. I'll just waste my whole day asking random people in Wizarding World.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they like look at me weird, I'm just gonna walk away. I'm not gonna say anything else. Just excuse me.
Yeah.
Do you care for
Man,
Maroon?
the
Are you gonna
first
have
the first
Yeah, I'll
time
see if I can muster up a clipboard. I don't know if they'll let me bring one in.
maybe at least like a notepad?
Oh, I can buy something for too much money.
Yeah, for too much money in their gift shop.
the
At least it'll
first
look official though. You'll have like their pen.
the first time I had ever gone there, I was trying to get my wand, and somebody like because the place where you get your wand is like a really small area.
You got me one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that was
Wasn't I in jail or something? Yeah, you got me one. I don't remember.
I don't know where you. No, I don't. Nah, I don't know because I was living with Lofi at the time. I was living at I was living with. I think I was living with Lofi in Orlando.
Yeah.
I think
I
at that
remember.
time you were just like maybe like all over the place. I don't know.
Fucking knows, man. Anyway.
That was fucking a while ago. But the first time I went there, we were in that little ass room where you get the wands, dude. Just somebody. It literally smelled like a dumpster. It was like a hot dumpster in there. Like I almost couldn't get my wand because
Oh yeah, that little bitty one.
yeah, it was somebody smelled so bad. Like, and I mean like a fish dumpster. Like if it was a dumpster of fish in the hot sun, like I was in there like, ugh, ugh. But I just wanted to get I just wanted to get my wand. Ugh. And then I was like outside, and the person was like next to me. They were next to me the whole time, and I was like, "Why do you smell like this?" Like,
Yeah, that wouldn't be cool. I wouldn't. I only went inside of the little thing one time, and that was a few months ago.
it's a very small area.
And our friend Tarun was here from fucking the Netherlands, you know, so we had to like do it up. You know.
Oh yeah, I had to give him the full Orlando experience.
Yeah, we're lucky that like we did like one park per day for university. They went to Disneyland shit too.
Yeah.
Some of these, but yeah, like got to do everything well that he wanted to do. You know, at least one.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Fast and the Furious, they have a fucking Fast and the Furious ride. I've been there fucking 20 times in the past year, maybe not that much. Somewhere around there, 10 to 20 times. I've never got on that ride.
It's awesome.
Why is
You
that?
should.
I
You
also
should.
I think it's awesome.
ridden
Why-
the Minion ride, which is weird. It's just like I
Why
go in there.
wouldn't you ride the Fast and the Furious?
Because he hasn't seen the movies.
And I feel like it's
He feels like he's lying to himself if he rides
10
it.
minutes of my life I'll never get back.
10?
You're not the one that watched most of the movies, so at least
Yeah.
you got. At least you listen. 10 minutes invested compared to I got a total.
I'm gonna do it, you know.
The ride is fun.
I'm gonna
It's
go there in a
fun.
couple
Listen,
weeks.
10 minutes is not bad. When I was a kid, I think I was in 7th grade or 8th grade when Fast and the Furious came out. And when it came out on DVD, I got it on DVD and I watched that shit a lot.
I need to. Weird, I haven't ridden like so many. Like Dudley Do Right was close to her. I've never ridden the Popeye ride because no one ever was like, I don't want to get wet. I'm like, it's 1,000 fucking degrees. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, you're fine.
Rule number one for me. When
Half the time I get wet, I got super wet. That's all.
Rule number one, if I go to a water park, the first thing we do is we ride a water ride so that I'm wet for the rest of the day.
It's hot.
Just go ahead and
Yeah.
get wet, cool off.
For a minute and then go get on some shit and then go back to
You gonna dry anyways. All you gotta do is get wet, go get on a roller coaster. Go get on one of those things where your feet dangle.
Just stand in the line for 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Some of them have fans.
Your skin feels like sandpaper
Especially
after being
right
out here.
It's hot as fuck, dude.
Stupid hot.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I just can't really theme park it anymore these days. Me and Kayla, we went to Dollywood. That was fun. You know, we did a lot of walking. It was cool to see. I felt real bad when we got to like this eagle sanctuary and there was like these nets and the eagles couldn't fly. And I'm like, are you really what do you mean y'all are protecting them? How?
And they charge people.
Like, shouldn't you be like? Shouldn't they be like free somewhere? Like free somewhere else and not like.
That's a raggedy.
I don't know. I just felt bad. I was like, this is America right here. This is just it. You got America. You got America in a cage right now.
Dude, if there was a Bigfoot and we found it, it would 100% be in a cage, and they would charge people to see it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Shoot that bitch. Somebody would shoot it.
But like if the government, like if the right person had it, they would definitely charge people to see it.
Yeah, they're gonna put it.
They're gonna keep it alive, put it in a cage.
King Kong movies, shit.
Yeah, 100%. $1,000.
Wait, so King Kong wasn't real? I thought that was actual footage.
It was.
Well,
actually.
And they just started remaking movies about it.
There's giant chimps that are like
they really made the first one out of clay. You know what I mean?
What's that? The King Kong, the 40s one, the 1940s or 50s?
Yeah, 20s.
Yeah, it was like a claymation.
Yeah, all those flicks are rad. That same dude
like
did like all those cool movies, like
all those cool movies. You know what sucks? All those cool movies aren't cool anymore, and nobody's making them. They're like, let's just throw some CGI in there. It's like, nah, dude, why don't you go get like a little airplane?
It takes so long to do stuff like that.
Mars Attack was great.
Yeah,
that was. You know what I mean? Like top 5 movies that I gotta be stuck on an island with. Mars Attack, 100%. Yeah, it's amazing. That's with Jack Nicholson, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and he plays fucking 2 different people.
Yep. That he does. He plays the dude with this hair slick. Oh man, Jack Nicholson.
The aliens look fucking cool to me.
For the time that came out, fuck yeah.
The CGI was great. That's also a Tim Burton film.
Yeah. I got a Mars Attack little croc deal with Gibbet, but I'm not wearing those. I thought I was.
Yeah.
Them's on the tree camos.
Tim Burton. Killing it with Mars Attack. They should remake that. They're remaking all these other shitty movies. You figured they would make something like that.
Did you see that they are remaking? Oh, what was it I see the other day? They're remaking something, but they're using. Oh man,
That's good. Yeah,
I just had it, and I
give me like a clue. You know, just give us a clue. Give us a little
I'm trying to think of it. It's
give us a bite. We just want to try the sandwich.
It's not.
What kind of movie?
It's Roadhouse. They're redoing Roadhouse.
Oh yeah,
damn.
With fucking Conor McGregor and fucking.
Excuse me. Yes.
Really, that's a real thing.
Yeah,
I thought. Yes. Okay.
And Conor McGregor.
Yes, yeah. Donnie Darko and Conor McGregor, or Jarhead. Bubble Boy. We got Bubble Boy and
it's not gonna be as cool though.
No, it's not gonna be as cool. It's gonna be fucking great though.
Did you know there's a Roadhouse 2?
It's gonna be an unintentional comedy.
And it has Jake Busey in it?
Nah, I don't know.
And every time he shows up, there's like some like real corny music that plays, and he has like rattlesnake boots on. I don't know. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And like, even though it was
It's
made
not
way in
accurate.
the '90s, they still stuck with certain like '80s aesthetics. Like, do you notice that in every '80s movie where there's like a bad tough guy, he's wearing like some type of like turquoise jewelry for some reason? He has like a necklace or like a bracelet with like why don't they supposed to wear like
Tank tops.
sterling silver with this fucking
Puka shell necklace.
Yeah.
why? It's in so many movies like
Shark
that.
tooth necklace.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. Like, when was that ever really a thing? Like, were there ever tough guys really in the '70s or '80s, like just tying a string around their arm, or like that, like having like puka shells or
Putting an anklet on.
Yeah, like who fucking really did that? Was that a real
Also,
thing?
also like the hair that's like barely long enough to put in like a ponytail, and they still put it in a ponytail. You know, it's just long enough, just long enough.
You cut all your hair off, right? Do you have hair anymore?
Yeah, pretty much like it's kind of grown back out, but I still have my mullet.
That's good.
He keeps calling it a mullet.
This guy says it's a hockey
Yeah,
haircut.
I love that mullets are cool. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've been trying to get one for years.
It's like irony rednecks, like just regular ass, like rich, like
Every kid has a
just have
every kid
mullets.
has a mullet right now.
So good.
It's I mean, it's the best haircut. You just wake up and like, get a little wet.
It's the best haircut.
The best ever.
Dude,
It's the best
you
haircut
only
of
have
all
to
time.
brush the fronts.
We're not gonna question that at all. We're
There
just
was a museum of haircuts, like that was the pinnacle right there, huh?
Yes. You
The
know,
pinnacle.
it's
human
dude,
haircut.
it's
Of
all
mullet.
terrain, you know?
What are we talking? Two on top, one on the side.
Well,
Nothing
normally,
in the back.
no,
Leave it alone in the back.
normally, like whenever I go get my haircut, she fades it on the sides. Like the sides are faded,
Okay. And
I do
what's
like
the
a-
back?
and
What's
then
the
the
mechanism?
back is just
I
like
feel
it's
there's
just
so
it's
many
going.
various options that, like, do you remember going on, because I'm a million, back like in the olden Stone Age when there was dial-up internet and there was that website called mulletgalore.com? Holy fucking shit. I would just
No, I
get
don't
so,
know.
it takes forever. It would just be like random people like catching flicks of like back when you had to scan pictures and everything. But just like people with mullets.
And just walking around.
Places, and you know what I mean? At the time, in the late '90s, like no one really had a mullet anymore unless they were like, that's when they made Joe Dirt. and
Joe
shit,
Dirt,
like,
yeah.
it's like
That's
wet,
because the
fat,
mullet
cool.
kind of like phased out in like 93, 94.
And this guy was keeping it alive, and it would have like stats. Like it would have a picture and sightings, and then it'd have like mullitude, like how hard their mullet was. It'd be like favorite band, Leonard Skinner. Like special moves, like hard pull-out games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like drives a '77 IROC Z, cherry as fuck. Like it was so good. Like I love that shit.
That's hilarious.
Mullets galore. And they like used to have these stickers, back when you'd be like, hey, I'll email you and you mail me this sticker like 8 years later. Because I don't even know if you can.
Mail us $1 and a postage stamp.
The mullet. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like people used to like cut shit out of fucking magazines and mail in money. To
100%.
And just hope you get some shit.
Hope you get.
Like I feel like when I was young, I did that with like some merch and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yo,
Or like,
do you remember cash on delivery? Like whenever your postman would show up, and then you would pay for it. So then your postman is just walking around with cash all day.
Sketchy.
Yeah, that's just
Sketchy.
so crazy. Man.
Getting robbed.
Because you would literally call on the phone and be like, I don't have a check or a routing, but you know, like I want this $200 chainsaw that y'all just advertised on the TV.
Yeah.
I'll give the postman money when he shows up.
Dude, imagine
Because that's how you bought shit
sending
off
That
infomercials.
was before they had ring
that's what I'm saying.
cameras
Like
and everything.
imagine them doing that now. You know?
Every
It's
postman's
insane.
getting robbed.
I
Like,
was just kidding.
listen, my old roommate, he sold. We used to buy Louis Vuitton luggage, like the locks, and then put them on necklaces, and we were selling them. And one girl was like, "Yo, I didn't get my necklace," and like it was in the tracking. So we finally figured out. She was like, actually, she emailed him back and was like, actually, can you send me another one? Someone stole, like literally, someone hijacked the mail truck and stole the mail truck with her mail, and I guess like everybody's mail, and like it was all on the news. And he was like, dude, this girl's got to be bullshitting. And I was like, ask her about it. Like, ask her where she lives, found out where she lives. He looked it up in California and found the news clipping and everything about the mail truck getting stolen. Like, they just straight
Yeah.
up took the whole mail truck.
What did they do with all the mail? Like the post service, like they didn't
They
get
just-
this shit.
I guess they just go through it. There was that time in the Pacific Northwest out there and in LA where they were just like throwing shit off the carriers, like whatever was on the cargoes. They were just throwing the cargo off, like. And dude, people's mail was strung for miles.
I like when there's a hustle like that that I never thought of that's big. Like, remember a couple years back, like all those fools in Canada got in trouble for like robbing like tankers of maple syrup. Like they jacked a train because maple syrup's so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a couple $1 million lick.
Yeah. I do remember. I think I do remember this. There's a documentary about this, I think.
Like, yeah, what do you do? Like, is there like some kind? There ain't
They
like
get a bunch of
something in.
They get a bunch of
Canada?
6-gallon buckets.
Do you like roll out to nowhere to like a lumberjack party and just be like, "Yo, I got that bootleg syrup player."
Yeah.
Like who do you sell it all? Like you got fucking 100,000 gallons of fucking pure maple syrup.
You know,
Sell that.
You know, they're telling people it's different strains of syrup.
Do you gotta
I
have,
got
even like
mango,
if you're
I got
stealing, yeah, if you're stealing, like art or like jewelry, you gotta have somebody to fence that shit. You
Yo,
can't
and
just
that's a thing
take it
for
to the
for
pawn
these
shop.
these crazy things that get stolen. Like you said, like you have to
Who
have a
wants to
buyer
sell maple
first.
syrup? How do you get hooked up with a fucking dude
Hockey
that
And are you is this the one where it was like $3 million in maple syrup?
Hockey teams drink that
It's
shit.
one of them like low rate, you know what I mean, like hockey leagues in Canada where they just like basically fight, you know what I mean?
That's their initiations. They have to drink that.
Yeah, and I bet those dudes, because there's definitely organized crime. Somebody's got like the plug on maple syrup, like their whole town. Everybody's maple
They
syrup's
got
coming
them
from
jars
them.
from Amazon. They got them 3
We're
gram
writing a
jars.
movie about the great what was
They
happening.
delivering that
So-
shit like what?
So what? Oh my God, dude! So what you're talking about is the Great Canadian Maple Syrup Heist.
Yeah, I told you it's a real thing.
So over several months in 2011, 2012, nearly 3,000 tons of maple syrup valued at 18.7
Hold on. Do some
million.
math real quick.
18.7 million dollars.
So
But think about it though. Is that real though? Because you know how they make shit up. Like you'll be watching cops or the newspaper.
So
and
this
they'll
is
be like,
this is probably
"Oh,
retail value. They probably did it at retail value.
How much?
So
How much
check this out. So check this
Say it
out.
was?
And this is their whatever their currency, Canadian currency. So it says that three tons of maple syrup valued at 18.7 million from a storage facility in Quebec. The facility was operated by the Federation of Quebec Maple Syrup Products, who represented 77% of the globe's maple syrup supply. So they
What
hit
the
they
fuck?
hit
Like,
the
where the fuck
plug.
did they get this from? Yo, think about how hit of a movie that would be in Canada. It's like The Town. Think about how much more people probably like in New England like The Town because they're robbing Fenway. Could you imagine like how many Canadians would be hyped if like Martin Scorsese made like a flick about the Maple Heist? They'd be
Yeah.
like, "Ooh," you know what I mean?
I mean, why hasn't anybody done this? Because like, you've seen the movie with like with
100%.
what's his name, Owen Wilson, the movie with Owen Wilson where they steal the money truck.
Owen Wilson and a money truck.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Never seen that
Oh,
movie? It's got Owen Wilson. It's got man, I can't remember the dude's name, but he was in that movie Tanya.
Paul Rudd?
Nope.
No.
And the girl from that plays Vicky Valentine or whatever, or no. Oh, what's her name? She was in MacGruber.
Oh, Kristen Wiig?
Kristen Wiig
yo,
is in it.
listen to this camera on. Is that still a thing?
What is it?
Is people still watching us talk too much?
Yeah,
There's viewers.
Huh.
But they made a movie about that because they stole the Loomis truck. It was like, and that I think that happened in Florida. They
Yeah,
made
I
a
heard
movie
about
about that. That was
back in the
like an
day.
actual movie, but they turned it into like a comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
Kristen
that
Wiig,
the
Owen
person
Wilson.
that got away with it, like Jack, worked at one of the armored truck places or whatever for a while, and then like got away with it. Eventually, like stole the money. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Just disappeared.
Yeah.
I always see those Brinks trucks. You just think like, there's definitely somebody in the back, right?
But now, you know what I mean? Besides, there's definitely somebody
In the
back.
back.
Yeah.
Like there's two in the front. There's definitely at least one in the back.
I feel like they probably have like a shotgun and an AR.
Yeah, like they're
You know what
ready.
I mean? Just in case somebody's I don't know. I wouldn't try to.
When I lived in South Florida, they tried to rob a Brinks truck, and like one of the dudes got shot. Like they were shooting each other.
Yeah, you couldn't even open the back of one. You know what I mean? It's not like it's just a door latch.
And even like, they have to know now. It's so easy with money counters. I feel like when they send that fucking truck out, and they know the serial number on every single fucking bill. I bet you they do.
Especially now, yeah.
But
early money.
Well, it depends. It depends. If they're picking up, they don't know what's on the bills that they're about to pick up. Some of them just pick up from the ATMs.
Oh, yeah,
Some of them are pickups. Some of them are drop offs. So it just
Yeah.
depends on which ones. There's the dudes that literally go around. You see, they go to the grocery store. You know what I mean? They'll walk in and pick up all the shit and walk.
They're gonna edit this shit together, and fucking there's three of us. They're gonna put us on conspiracy charges, and they'll be like, they said it on the internet. I seen it, and that's it. It's not that stuff. You 20 years, and they'll be like, here, conspiracy.
Ain't got nothing to do with that Brinks
I
truck.
don't know what you're talking about.
I can't spell Brinks. I wouldn't even trust anybody named Brinks.
I love that movie.
The rollerblading one?
Mm-hmm.
This is a great movie. He skates first. He's a soul skater.
Yeah, he's a soul skater. No sponsorship. And dude, my favorite thing, he's like, I'm gonna put some makeup on and these sunglasses, and my friends will never notice me. Yo, he Rey Mysterio'd him, you know?
Yeah, 619.
Like when Rey Mysterio took his mask off and he came out with the contacts, and it's like, we know who you are. We still know.
Yeah, that was the weakest wrestling unmasking, right?
Yeah, I was like already checked out by then. You know what I mean? Like I quit giving.
I saw the Kane unmasking.
It was real young.
I remember that.
Dude, my favorite. Listen, speaking of Kane, you remember the Kane and Undertaker, the big fight, not a lot of people noticed, but I noticed. But while they're both laying there, the Undertaker taps Kane on the hand, and they both raise up. He taps him like, "Get up now," because we're both
Yeah,
knocked
yeah.
out. But I'm gonna tap you on the hand. Let's both get up now.
The last time I cared, I feel like, and was like, damn, that shit was hard. Well, one time at Black Swan, we watched the Undertaker's like 20th one, but way a long time ago, it was like Undertaker and fucking Mankind in a cage match.
The Hell in the Cell.
Because it fell through the, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
his tooth came out, and I was like, man, that
Dude,
crazy
his tooth
old-
came out through his nose.
Yeah, that shit was hard.
That shit is wild. And here's the thing. As unreal, as not real as it might be, there is no faking that 20-foot drop through
And
that
also,
fucking cage. Like,
that shit's
No.
still hard. Like,
fucked
you're
up,
still
man.
running around and doing a lot of stuff.
and you're
you know
getting
what I mean?
fucked up. Like, your body is
Yeah.
going
I'm gonna
through
be honest
so-
with you. I don't know how many of those chops I could take to the chest.
Dude, you can't get hit with a ladder a soft way, okay?
Yeah, I mean, there's
I fucking moved so many ladders.
Yeah, even my
it's
buddy
the whole-
Damien, he went to wrestling school for a while. He said, listen, even there's a right way to hit somebody with a chair. He's like, but it still hurts. He's like, there's a wrong way, but even the right way still hurts.
Yeah, right way, you're just getting slapped super hard, so it's a smack, but it
Yeah,
doesn't, like,
it's
break
metal
up, like,
slapping you.
It just fucking stings like shit. And it's louder. You know what I mean? Like all the shit, like the smacks and all
But
that. Like it's gonna
He was
hurt.
telling me
yeah.
like, cause he was new, like they would just be like, all right, they would just like slap him in the chest, like they throw him in the corner and fucking those chops. He's like, dude, those hurt.
Dude, the walls of Jericho, like, you know what I mean? Just like,
How much like
Dude, I've
legs,
tapped many times as a kid.
buttholes are in your face. Just think
All
about
day.
that. All day you're like dudes nuts up on your shit.
and they smell like
hand up
coconut
their
oil.
ass when you're like
Yeah, they smell
And
like
they,
coconut
and they
oil.
smell good, like, dang.
yeah,
They smell good. They're all lathered down for some reason.
they're like all shiny and like baby oiled up and so yeah, it's like what was that?
And you got for 10 minutes, you're fucking knocked out while he lays on the
This real like man, what was that fool? He was a super really big dude and
Big Show?
special move, not Big Show. He
Rashiki.
would just throw his butthole in
Yeah,
face.
Rashiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what his move was. He'd put you in the corner and just come in there with that big thong and put his butt cheeks in your face and smother you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I feel like there's no way unless he has an assistant that thing's getting a good washing. Like it has to be.
And it was at the
sweaty.
end of the match. It wasn't at the beginning of the match. It was after he done been running
Yeah,
around.
it was washed up. It was wet back there. It was like the end of a backwoods, you know what I mean, with no filter.
Wrestling.
Like that shit's wet. It's just wet. That's hot. That's nasty, you know? Yeah, they gotta watch out. He made it in the Hall of Fame though? For sure.
Yeah, you see where Hogan. They took Hulk Hogan out of the Hall of Fame.
Why?
Oh, because he, well, one, his like sex tape, and two, I think he was like saying some things that he wasn't supposed to say. Like in the middle of this phone call, he was using, like you can't call people that.
Oh
Yeah, he's
another beef with him right now on a personal level. A couple months back, I was out in Clearwater seeing old Dustin, and I went into the Hogan's Beat Shop, and in my head, the one thing they're for sure gonna have is a yellow Hulkamania tank top.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They do not. They have red and black and 1800 Hulkster and Hulkamania shirts. I'm like, really, bro?
Why don't you have the original?
The classic option to get one. Not that you need any more money.
But
Hulk
you know.
shirt, you know what I mean?
So wait, did you get the other
Why
color?
would-
No, I ain't get shit. Fuck that dude, man.
I would
Yeah,
like
I
to
like
know. I just want
I
to
ain't like
know.
Well, I like the Ultimate Warrior and Undertaker way better than that, dude.
Way
Well, here's
better.
here's the thing: is the Ultimate Warrior had a good show. He was a terrible wrestler. He was a good show. He was, dude. My man was on the juice and was
Yeah,
wild.
he does not make any fucking sense. When he
I loved him as a kid, though. I thought he was great because he was just loud and crazy.
Yeah, I
Macho
feel like
Man too. Whew.
they were like getting wet or something.
That's back when Stone Cold was called the Candyman.
Or wasn't they like
No.
stunning? Like he had like a
He was
feather
stunning
body?
Steve Austin. He had blonde hair. He was with the Blonde Bombers.
Yeah, the long,
Yeah, he was dressed like Elton John and shit.
Yeah,
you know,
kind of.
the
Yeah,
same-
he would come out like with a vest on,
yeah.
and he had blonde hair. He had like a bowl cut.
Wrestling's silly as fuck.
That's hilarious.
Now, speaking of wrestling, Logan Paul's a wrestler.
Yeah. So much money. He's getting paid so
I
much
think
money.
confused
to be
about
silly.
which one of those dudes is. Well, there's two of them, right?
Yeah,
Logan is the adult, the oldest.
together.
I guess they're
Yeah,
both
One of them
adults.
boxes.
They both box.
Okay.
One of them boxes well.
How the fuck did they start doing it? Were they like internet
YouTube.
dudes?
Yeah, they've been on YouTube since like YouTube started.
All that from Disney?
Yeah.
I do know that I don't know which one of them, but I think this is hilarious. In a very stupid way, like, man, what a fucking just dumbass, stupid fuck move, but good job. Whichever one of them turds spent like 8 million on a fucking Pokemon card.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
put it
and
on
it was fake.
because I have the most expensive chain, but it's a Pokemon card. And I'm like, that is so fucking
Insane.
dumb that it's funny to me.
Yo, what's crazy is the dude that sold it to him, he came out and was like, yo, by the way, that shit's fake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I know, like Posty paid like
It was like a
800
big
racks for a Pokemon card or something.
You know, I get it, but
No.
pass. Pass.
I'm not paying that much money for something I can't drive or fly.
I'm not gonna pay that much money for a car. I don't
Much
care
less-
how rich I am. $800,000.
A card, little
million
fucking like you just. Here's the thing: is like, what do you do with it? You know, because after a certain
Who
point,
are you gonna put? Are you actually? But like are you actually playing?
Go
You know,
up at the Pokemon card game and you be
And people wanna fuck you up
there.
for it.
You're like,
you gotta fight for your life to keep this.
is it even like a good card? Does it like make you win or something?
I don't know.
I don't even know that
that's
shit
crazy.
really works.
Has to. Yeah. That's what and
Like the reverse card in Uno.
I get
like
it.
he said.
Make it everything.
It's like the wild draw 4 in Uno.
We used to
Pokemon-
play for cards. Like when I was
Yeah,
a
it's
kid,
like-
I played so much Pokemon. Like I have like actual badges. Like I played so much. Like I would go to Books A Million on Saturdays and play Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother did the same shit.
Uh-huh.
I remember it was like the trading card game. People would have like there was always that like one not old dude but older than all the kids, and he would have a fucking
Man, like, yeah, the funniest thing I know about Pokemon, I don't got to do with the card game. Like, one of my friends, Brian, this was like way junkie mode at the time, right? He was all barred out and shit, and he had this fucking like, the only thing he cared about in the world at the time was like, one of the Game Boy, like, I don't remember which one.
Pokemon Red or
6 or
Blue.
7, yeah. And it's fucking Pokemon game, and he would go pawn on us every day, you know what I mean? And go get it and like hustle up money to get it back and be like, I don't have this long till my berries. So one night I was just being nice, and I asked this dude, I'm like, bro, I don't really understand, like, you play all the time, like, how does it work or whatever.
right.
And he's like, all right, bro. And he was like, barred out, blah, blah, explaining it to me for so long. I fell asleep for like a while. We woke up and he was still sitting there talking. And I got up and pissed and came back. And he just never stopped it. Everybody was laughing. And they're like, I'm like, yo, did I just fall asleep for a second? Like, no, it was like 20 minutes. So like, it's been 20 minutes. He's just been sitting there explaining to you how this Pokemon game works. And I'm like, But I didn't really like. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I wanted the basic, just like what does it do? Like what's the objective?
Cliff notes.
I didn't want like the fucking word for word like the old guys used to buy, you know?
The walkthroughs, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, that I remember that when I was a kid too. Like when a game would come out, I would buy the strategy guide for it, and I'd just be like looking through the strategy guide, like, what's going on?
30 guys.
feel like Mortal Kombat and shit would come out as a little kid, you know, and I like go to like Winn-Dixie or Publix or something, and we like look in the magazine. I have like a piece of paper like writing down the moves
Get the
and
cheat
shit.
codes,
Because I'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, you buy me this magazine? Be like, that's just $5.
You ain't getting that magazine?
Hey,
Sure, rip that page.
I used to get the magazine subscriptions,
Page out.
and at that time, like you could just write any fake name on it, and it would show up.
Yeah. Yo, fucking shout out to whatever fucking idiot invented Columbia House.
Oh
Back
yeah,
in the
that's
day.
how I found out about
Thank
music
you
as a
so
kid.
fucking much, man. Like CDs were a lot. Like, you know what I mean? I could muster up one every week, a couple weeks. You know what I mean? Sometimes, but like, you know, my want for it was so much more, and I would just be using every motherfucker's name in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
they
pay you
would have the 25 for 1 cent, or they would have the 10.
The old people, neighbors and shit, I would just put fake names on the shit and have them sent to their house, you know what I mean, during the summer, just whenever, and know when the mail's coming, and be like, ooh, yeah, fucking. You know, and even, especially when I found out for real they couldn't do anything because you're like under 18, you couldn't
Yeah.
legally sign a contract. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, shit, I probably got them for a couple hundred CDs.
dude, I did that with
Thank
wrestling
you.
magazines,
Columbia
every
House.
PlayStation magazines, Columbia House. There was another one too. It was Columbia House and I think MGM.
Yeah, that MG. Oh yeah, that was another one. There was definitely another one. I remember my mom got mad. Not my mom, my stepdad, because like, you know, you fill out the thing, and then I did it in my real name, and they send you the next CDs,
Hmm.
and they're like, I know it's saying I gotta pay, and they were way more expensive. They were like $25 in the '90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More than a normal thing. Like that's how they made their money back. And I'm like, you don't really gotta pay that shit.
No.
Because they would just send you a random, and that Ministry record, 1 minute, which one was that? Like Dark Side of the Spoon or something came out. Was it that one? Yeah, that and like some Anthrax record that wasn't a good Anthrax record.
Such a good name.
Those two came, and I was like, oh, I like that.
Dude, that's how because of those, that's how I found out about music as a kid. I would literally look at it and be like, that band looks cool. The artwork on the album, that looks scary.
Yeah, man, like that was.
Because you didn't know you couldn't just look up the music if you never heard the band. Like you couldn't just go find it somewhere and listen to it.
And like going in and like buying a CD or whatever. I'm like, all right, I can get one CD, and I probably can't get another one. Like at best luck in a week or two. But
Right.
probably, you know, a couple, 3, 4 weeks before I figure out how to pull this off again. So it's such a big decision because you're like, man, if this fucking sucks, I'm just fucked. You just got the same shit. You know what I mean?
And you're like, what do I do with the CD now?
I gotta like whatever.
I miss being able to like go into the store and just scan the CD and listen to the whole CD, and you're like, no, don't like this one.
Yeah,
No,
I remember
don't
when
like
you
that.
had listening sessions. That was like, you know,
Put them sweaty ass headphones on.
Only one of them worked.
Man, there was so much. Like, it's so weird to think about it now. Or like when I was a kid, they had like this phone service, 1-800-Music Now or something.
Yeah.
And you could like, and it was like another one of them Columbia houses. You could get the first so many for free, but you could like call and listen to like clips of songs or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was in like, God, I don't know. I'll have to wait so how old I was in. Forever as fuck ago. And I think I got like the Comp Misfits, like Plan 9 that way. And the last Ramones record, like Acid Eaters, I think I got that off of fucking one of those 1-800 music now.
Yeah, yeah.
So you could hear clips. I remember that, and then like flash it. But that was
fucking
tough back in the day. You know what I mean?
hard back then.
Yeah, like there wasn't like the radio and your friends. You
Yeah.
It's all like word of mouth. Like, you ever heard this? No shit.
Right?
I do remember this kind of still holds true. Like how much stuff like the PMRC, like the Tipper Gore, Nancy Reagan, fucking, the parental advisory stickers on. How that was the coolest thing they could have ever did. That made me want to listen to shit so fucking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
liked it. It was like one of the only. Let's come together as two sides and agreeing on things, not letting people.
This is how I know where the bad shit is.
Like straight up, I remember seeing on the news and stuff.
Like
as a kid, like when they were doing all that, like some of the stuff I'd not heard of, and I'm like, blah blah blah. That's how I heard a fucking body count. And then like when I heard like Cop Killer, I was like 10 or 11 or something probably. I was like, I need to hear this.
Yeah.
And somehow like my stepbrother ended up with like a tape of it. And I remember it was like the hardest thing I'd ever heard. Hearing about like Two Live Crew, they're like this band, South Florida band, and I'm like, what is that? And it was so bad. You're like, I'm not supposed to be listening to this
I
shit.
found out about Two Live Crew because my uncle listened to it. My uncle listened to like a lot of hip hop and like Sir Mix-a-Lot and fucking, you know what I mean, like all the nasty shit, dude.
Yeah. Anything, man, like caring about, they're talking about on the news. I never would have heard that shit as a kid. If they weren't all on the news and I'm like bullshit, like hard copy, like gangster rap,
Dun, dun,
and they
dun.
start talking about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like NWA, and then all these things. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like that shit
This is
sick.
cool.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, okay, wow, anything like that, like hearing Guns N' Roses as a little kid, and then just like black metal, I like read this article in this magazine. I'm like, wait, there's like idiots in Norway, like just setting church on fire and like killing one another, and making a bunch of noise. Like,
Yeah.
how do I listen to this? How do I hear this stuff? You know what I mean? So I feel like it typically does the opposite. At least for me, like anytime I hear a movie, like man, they had to ban that shit because it was so crazy. Like back in that Cannibal Holocaust shit. I'm like,
people thought that shit was real.
Yeah, I need to do that. Just like they're blowing up drill rappers now, you know what I mean? Being like, these kids are problematic and really killing each other, and like.
And they really are.
Yeah, like the fucking mayor of New York talking about like, drill, like I don't know, all those cats like Julio and like GMK or
The UK guys.
the kid from Orlando, like Conan Reese, all those dudes. I think like some of that shit's sick actually. How problematic and bad it is. So
Yeah.
It's like, wow, now there's all these little kids out there that are like, wait a minute. There's other kids out there shooting each other and rapping about it and shooting. Like, I want to know what that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say, I get into I watch like 1090 Jake, and there's like this other dude from the UK that follows all of that shit. Like anytime like something happens like in like the rap world, like they'll do like a deep dive into it. It's real good.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I get sucked into it, and sometimes I'm just like, I almost like feel bad for some of the kids because I'm like,
Yeah, man. Like,
dude,
it's kind of
because when I
terrible.
find out like how young they are, and I'm like, that like,
Yeah.
oh man,
It's
like there's
fucking
got to be
crazy.
something else for you. Like, and like some of the kids like they're rapping, they're successful at rapping, but they just have to do what they say.
And
Like
I
in
think
their
that's like
raps,
a
and I'm just
major
like,
thing.
you don't, but whatever,
Well,
dude.
what it is, man. Like, a lot of times, like, people are trying to be a thing they're not or do a thing they're not. And it's like, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be like, oh, gangster shit, or it's just anything. If it's really you and there's like a pure intent to it,
Yeah.
And like, as shitty as it is, the reason like some of their stuff's coming out probably that way is because that's really their their life and they can't see past a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's their world, and they see like other super young fools, like unfortunately, like dying like real young, and well, this is how it is. Like this is you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it is, and it's crazy. Like look, a lot of situations, how much good music or art or whatever comes out of like the worst situations, like you know.
For sure.
Yeah,
What?
there's some of it like I'm like, man, this shit's it's fucking hard, and I'm like, I can't listen to it because I actually listen to some of whenever I listen to some of the lyrics, I'm like, that poor kid. They did what to him? Oh my God!
Yeah.
What did they do to it? Oh no, that poor kid. And
It
nobody
almost
found
feels
him.
like
Oh
they're
shit! You know.
what if something they did is not real? Like, what? That really? I'm like, oh my God, why are you so bad? Why are you
Oh, they signed up for
like, I'm thinking about how bad I was like as a kid in my entire life, technically, you know, and be like, man.
And then whenever they show some of these kids, like with these guns, I'm like, those guns are expensive. How do they have all those
100%.
fucking guns? Like, those
Thousands and
things are
thousands
not,
of dollars in a single gun.
yeah,
We're talking about like $4,000 rifles,
military weapons.
like wild shit. 100%.
One kid had like a fucking RPG.
Yeah, right. Where's
Just
your
ride.
Taliban plug in,
Just
bro?
riding.
You got like a homie in Vegas with like a class one on the field. Like, yeah, my homeboy got a couple tanks too. He's sending out next week.
A couple nukes, you know.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these kids,
Really
like
get a goal in the tank.
they're
I
like
can fucking
suited up.
To cut you guys and build you.
Yeah.
Build you a fucking crane.
Has just a bunch of like ridiculous Mad Max cars, you know.
Yeah.
All
Twisted metal cars. Yeah.
With like flamethrowers attached to your shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, why did they never make a twisted metal but like dunk edition? You know what I mean?
I'd never seen one. That's one thing I didn't see out of all the Dunk editions. Like there's the Cheeto cars, the Bob the Builders, the every other car but a Twisted Metal car.
That would be dope.
I mean, they should make a twisted metal like game, but all the car options are like, you know,
Right.
like some big flamethrowers and shit. Though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, like a Pimp My Ride,
Yeah,
but
like,
Twisted Metal edition.
Spin around and your trunk opens and you just like fucking and it like vibrates them to death, you know, like it get killed by 808s and shit.
So it'd be like a Pimp My Ride /
Yeah. Twisted metal.
Uh-huh.
I like it. Slash crazy
Dunk edition.
/ crazy taxi.
Yo, Crazy Taxi has the best soundtrack.
Yeah.
Do people have like wild ass dunks in South Carolina also?
Uh-huh.
Not like here, but
Uh-huh.
oh, they do.
There's I still see a few of them every now and then.
Yeah,
I seen a nice one the other day. It was like it was like I don't know what it was. It was like a big body, and the interior was like all white, and it was aqua. Like the rims were aqua, the paint was aqua, the inside was completely white, drop top.
Nice. Never had that. How you gonna have a white interior?
Braveness,
Confidence. Anything like that. I would, within 33 seconds, I would open the door to that bitch and check myself and make sure I'm not dirty. And something would go wrong instantly. Like there would be a stain on it. I would.
Well, the Teslas, they have that white interior. It's made out of some plant material, and you can't stain it.
Allegedly.
No, you can't stain it.
Yeah, probably like
it myself.
Starts to know how your skin grows, and that's how that brain implant things.
That fucking neuro chick. Hey, look, man, I gotta get the hell out of here because I gotta work.
Oh, yeah, it's like 11:30.
Oh yeah, we've been here for a while. Just flapping our gums.
Is this fun?
Oh, yo, shout out to your homie Shrimp Gang. He sent me some fucking cool shit.
Hell yeah, shout out Shrimp Gang.
Beanie Man.
231.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Yeah, he said he sent you a bunch of stuff.
Our
podcast episodes are sponsored by Shrimp Gang 231. Yeah,
Absolutely.
he sponsors the podcast.
Yeah, man. Like people have been real cool to me.
Yeah.
But
On the
yeah,
next
we're
episode, we're gonna.
Hopefully this gets more fucking.
If you're
You
in
know what I
Central Florida, come to my show Saturday.
mean?
If you like hardcore metal,
Yeah, it'll be fun.
that adjacent thing.
Where's it at?
Some people only like rap it, and that's okay too.
Where are you doing it? Where's the show?
Union Hall
Union
in Lakeland
Hall.
at
Nice.
8 o'clock.
Trauma Bond.
Ted Mears, A Human Gone, and Trauma Bonds. That was my band.
That'll be fun. I'm
Nice.
stoked.
Yeah. It's technically our EP release party because we just dropped the EP. You know, that's funny. That's everywhere too, man. There's a little video for Born to Kill. That's the sing off. That's the name of the EP, Born to Kill.
Fuck yeah. Trauma Bond.
Check that out.
Spooky bitches.
And I got that
Chopped
EP,
up.
and then that song. It'll be everywhere in like 30 minutes.
Let's go.
Ah,
Yeah. Or half attempted watching it.
you heard it
All right.
from the man.
All right. I'll holler at you soon.
We are out of here.
We're out. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate Nah, they loved it. We loved it. Fucking, yeah. This was fun. I'm fucking
It was
stoned.
great.
I got to work in a few hours. But, yeah. Sponsored by all this weed we just smoked. We out.
Bye.
All right.
Later, Gator.